Trading involves risk of loss. Market availability varies. Eligibility restrictions apply. $50 every 7 days via click-to-claim issued in non-withdrawable predictions dollars that expire in 1 year. Terms, dkng.co/predictions promo. Nationwide based on sportsbook predictions and free-to-play sports contest availability. Varies by state.
Sell your home fast and for the most money with a guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate. Go to markspain.com to get a guaranteed offer on your home today. That's markspain.com and start packing.
It's going down. Annual Labor Day Bash at the House of Blues is back Sunday, September 6th. We got DJ Icy on the bill, DJ Magic Mike, Baby Ann going back-to-back with Tony Phelan and Jimmy Jocelyn, and special guest DJ Craze. Tickets are available at livenation.com or the House of Blues box office. Is brought to you by Vision One. Get your tickets at livenation.com or the House of Blues box office. Brought to you by Vision One. Doors open at 7 p.m.
Now that we have AT&T Fiber Internet in our home, our connection's so fast it can handle streaming, gaming, surfing, and video conferencing for the whole family. The only downside? Our kids' friends are coming over way more often than we'd like. Hey, Jaden, Braden, Zayden, come on in, you guys. Luke, what's up, buddy? How's baseball going? I've got the game streaming in the den. Maybe you can pick up some pointers before we take on Kennedy next week. Ashley A, Ashley D, Ashley P, is this for a group project again? Because last time it looked a lot like high-speed reality TV research. Hey, Kristen! You got the ring light and the tripod this time. Don't forget to tag the house with the fastest internet. Honey, it's going to be another late one. We're going to need more snacks.
Tell all your neighbors, AT&T Fiber has arrived. Hyper-fast internet is now available in your neighborhood. Learn more at att.com/internet. Limited availability in select areas.
Sunnyside Plumbing.
Hey there, my sink is leaking water. I need help right now.
We're having a company-wide staring contest. Do you want to play?
But what about my sink?
Okay, me versus you.
No.
Ready, go.
No, I'm not playing. And you know what? I should have called Frank Gay.
Oh, I almost blinked.
I'm calling Frank Gay.
When it comes to plumbing problems, you want a helpful operator to guide you and an honest and reliable plumber to provide customized solutions for your home.
That's the Frank Gay way.
FrankGayServices.com.
Did you know that Budweiser has donated over $33 million to Folds of Honor, supporting families of fallen and injured military members and first responders? As Budweiser celebrates 150 years, Daytona Beverages is proud to continue that mission with the Folds of Honor Local Heroes Challenge. This summer, every Budweiser and Bud Light sold helps fund scholarships right here at home. So at the beach, on the boat, or at the grill, choose Bud or Bud Light and raise one for our local heroes. Daytona Beverages, locally owned and operated in Volusia County.
In this edition of the Marketer's Report, Monica Tam, head of brand media for DoorDash, discusses the power of audio influencers.
I think when you're tapping into voices like hosts and podcasters, you're being able to be part of that community, but in a very authentic way.
As the #1 audio company, iHeartMedia connects marketers to the audiences, live conversations, and trusted influencers you need to grow. If you're a marketer, go to iHeartAdvertising.com.
My name is Amanda Klutz, and I'm a widow. You enter a different reality when you lose your husband, especially as a parent. Life insurance doesn't fix it, but it helps. With Ethos, you can get covered in minutes. No medical exams, up to $3 million in coverage, and it's all online.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/save. That's ethos.com/save. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Sprained wrist, ankle twist, broken thumb, can't make a fist, busted knee, surgery, that patch of ice you didn't see.
Where pain starts, Jernavix suzetrigine begins. Jernavix is a non-opioid 50-milligram prescription tablet for adults with moderate to severe acute pain that reduces pain signals before they reach the brain.
Tendon tear, nose repair, tripping on that broken stair, dislocation, operation, moped crash while on vacation.
Do not take Jernavix with CYP3A inhibitors. Avoid use with grapefruit or liver problems, as these may increase side effects. Tell your doctor about all your medicines if you are pregnant or breastfeeding. Jernavix may make certain medicines and birth control less effective. Side effects include itching, muscle spasms, rash, and elevated muscle enzymes.
Joint displacement, knee replacement, fell on marbles in the basement, ladder slip, broken hip, that rock climb where you lost your grip.
To learn more about Jernavix, ask your doctor. Call 1-833-589-PAIN or visit Jernavix.com.
What's your case worth? Injury.com by Morgan & Morgan.
Coming to you live from the JustCallMo.com studios. Injured on the go? Just call Mo. Need help after an accident? Visit JustCallMo.com or dial 1-800-CALL-MO. This is WTKS-FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando, an iHeart radio station. Guaranteed human. Someone's going to get offended. It's just the way the world works. So to hopefully save everyone a little time and or energy, here's this. The opinions that you hear are those of the host and callers, and not those of iHeartMedia, its management, or advertisers. The News Junkie is on. The best friends you never knew you had, running through the most viral stories of the day. The News Junkie starts now.
It's Tuesday, August 25th, 2026. Lots to get to today. From This Has Gone Too Far to Lindsay Clancy's lawyer unleashes on a reporter, and Uber's new feature has people absolutely freaking out. Plus your calls, dispatches, emails, texts, and more. C-Lane is here.
Hello.
Josh is with us.
Hello.
And so are you. You can join us on the show. Send us a dispatch over at thenewsjunkie.com right now. You can also watch the show on YouTube and twitch.tv/thenewsjunkie. Your message is rolling right in the studio in real time. And it is, friends, a Share the Show Tuesday. Yes. That means you share the show on a Share the Show Tuesday. Tell somebody about the News Junkie radio show. Spread the word. Send a link, for God's sake. Just tell your mom or your uncle or your Grammy, I don't know what you call her, just send a little email or something that says, listen to the News Junkie on a Share the Show Tuesday. How's everybody doing on a Tuesday?
Good. How about you?
Yeah.
Great.
Good. I did, just for the record.
Did you chug a coffee before we started?
No. What was it? Too fast? Am I going too fast?
You had this sudden burst of energy, like somebody hit the NOS can in the back or something.
I was trying to not just be blown out when I say what day it is at the beginning of the show, so I try a moderately different delivery, and of course, big problems. I did make a mistake, though, before I get to the opening clip. Yesterday, I go for a walk. I'm going around the neighborhood. I see this old lady, sweet old lady around the corner. She must be in her 80s or 90s. I wave to her. There's families out everywhere. I go by the park, and the kids on the swings, and the high school kids are all out there. High school kids are running by me, looking at me like I'm a weird old man. And I got all the way around the corner from my house, and I go, God, I don't usually sweat this much on one of my walks after the show, but I am sweating down the center of my back right now. And when I hit my back, I go, and I looked at the front of my shirt, and I go, oh, I wore the shirt around the neighborhood.
Oh, you wore the shirt about the getting Narcan?
Yeah. The one shirt that
Did
Courtney
you see his
told
shirt
me
yesterday, Josh?
I did, yeah.
Oh my God! She told me whatever you do not wear that around the neighborhood. And then she went off to Pilates and left me to my lonesome.
It's
and
called Pilots.
Yeah, you can see how well I do without her. I totally forgot. I was worried about something else, and I wore the shirt that says I got Narcan at an Applebee's in huge font. Everybody's looking at me. I'm like, what's going on today? Maybe I'm famous. Maybe that's it. No, wasn't that. I accidentally wore the shirt.
It fits with you paying your bills at Walmart.
It does. It makes sense now, actually. Here we go. Let's put our ears to the ground, our fingers on the pulse. Let's see what's happening to this great, big, wide world of ours. And we go to Channel 5, baby. First alert weather. They were giving out their hour-by-hour forecast during some storms recently. And I've heard that the meteorologist kind of lost it a little bit. He started laughing, and this has gone pretty viral. So let's watch it together.
Over downy spots that could get its act together. Sorry, we're having a little bit of a scene off screen. As you can see, those cloudier conditions across most of the state this morning, and resulting in the chance for some heavier precipitation, a few bands of storms in some spots.
So now I'm wondering very heavily, what's happening off screen
What's the
here?
scene?
Well, tell us about this off-screen scene, as Josh said it. What is happening over there? I bet it's something offensive. I bet there's something offensive going on off the screen. I think so. I think there might be somebody with an Applebee's Narcan shirt on or something, because this guy he's yucking it up. He can't get it together, and there's a lot of bad weather out there.
We got to finish up this weather right now. I'm so sorry. I'm losing my mind over here.
Oh my gosh.
The level of notes he just hit.
Kick that back 2 seconds so we can hear that again, because I didn't get to see him do that.
Yeah. Have you ever met a friend that goes up that high when they laugh? I don't think I have. You have?
Yeah, I have one friend that does that.
Did you not hang out with him a lot because of this? Or?
No. It's on account of the racism is why.
That'll do it too, yeah.
Wait. Your racist friend made that noise when they laughed?
Oh, I thought he was racist and didn't want to hang out with a person because of that, as opposed to the...
I'm not racist.
Your black friend made that noise when he laughed?
Hold on, watch how high he gets here. Here's the meteorologist.
I'm so sorry. I'm losing my mind over here. Plenty of those 70s, some low 80s, and spots on Monday. I'm going to have to step off screen. I've never had this happen before.
Bro, get it together. What are you doing right now? Imagine there's some Meemaw tuned in because she's worried about the emergency weather alerts. And she's like, okay, I truly rely on WABI. Hopefully they'll tell me how to survive through this storm.
What a great tagline for ABI.
WABI?
I truly rely on WABI.
Oh,
that is a good one.
I truly rely on WABI. That's what all the commercials tell me to do. And here I go, and this guy's just laughing it up.
Hey, let me get it together real quick.
It's almost unfair not to tell us what happened.
2 points.
I got the backstory. I got it.
This is what rainfall's looking like. Let's just throw it to the side.
I don't think I could hang out with this guy. I don't know if I could. If he was like, imagine this guy popped on the show for the day, and then C-Lane drops one of his jokes or something, and then after the guy,
I mean, Josh is funny too. It seems like you're singling me out for a specific reason here.
I wasn't finished. I wasn't finished. I was going to say C-Lane drops one of his jokes, and after staring dead faced and not laughing at all, Josh says something funny, and then he starts laughing like this.
Oh my gosh! '70s and low '80s for Ladarius coastal spots.
He sounds like he's crying.
Story a little cooler. Hello to the '70s, Josh. Please take it. What happened to professionalism, Patrick?
True, Patrick.
Josh, please take it.
What happened to professionalism, Patrick? What do you folks say? Having fun or unprofessional? All right. What do you think? Let me see. I do have the follow-up. Do we care enough to get
there,
the follow-up?
Josh.
I have the follow-up. Let's just see if they talk about what he was laughing about.
All right, welcome back. Happy to have Patrick Osborne out here with us. We're going to play the clip in a second here.
No.
Patrick, how are you?
No.
I am doing okay. A little overwhelming over the last 24, 36 hours or so.
Sure.
Since,
they act like it's a cancer diagnosis. Like, how are you hanging on?
How are you holding up, Patrick?
No, I'm doing my best.
The incident happened.
The incident. Well, tell us exactly, before you unveil what actually set you off, what happened yesterday?
Yesterday.
Okay, I don't care about that. I just want to know what happened off camera. Right now, this is a laugh fest. There's the giggles. Okay,
we played the whole thing?
I think they got close to it.
Professionalism, Patrick.
All right, now what was it?
What indeed? Okay, so, oh my goodness. Kudos to you for trying to keep going. Let's get this.
Kudos to him.
What set you off?
It was actually something that I was trying to prank Josh on that kind of backfired. We were, Zoe, our producer, and I were making fun of Josh during the middle of our commercial break. He was yapping away about whatever he's talking about. And Zoe made Charlie Brown kind of wah, 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 sound.
Yeah, sure.
On the phone.
Gotcha.
On the phone.
Okay, yeah.
And so I pulled it up on a video in the Weather Center. Center. Thought it was a 5-second video, quick sound just to egg Josh on a little bit.
Yep.
Turned out it was one of those hour-long compilations where it just periodically plays it every couple minutes.
Okay.
And so I didn't realize that. I go do my live, forecast after a minute and a half of not hearing anything, and then 20 seconds in, we start getting the Charlie Brown wah sound.
That's what did it for you?
He's a simple man.
Here's the thing.
If you're a comedian, do you want an audience full of this guy, or maybe it's too much?
A little both. But here's the thing. I think probably when it happened, it was really funny. But since nobody got to hear the Charlie Brown, like maybe if somebody was able to pot it up back in the studio and everybody could be a part of the Yuck Yucks, it might have made sense. But your ability to tell this story, Patrick, is god awful. It's bad.
You remember the news anchor who just got fired because she called somebody a bitch or something, or she shouted at her superior? If you did this at that television news station, I think everybody involved would have been fired. I think afterwards there would have been heads rolling. They would have been like, "What are you guys doing? This is over a Charlie Brown."
If you could have found a better way to kind of just summarize that thing. He kept wanting to tell it in such a way that the guy would also think it's funny. The guy's not laughing, barely.
No,
it's
not
Charlie Brown,
as much as him.
Charlie Brown, right? The wah wah wah. And I was just going to prank Josh. It was just going to be one wah wah wah, and then it just kept going and going, and it's like, all right, Patrick.
But when did the really funny thing happen? Right, like somebody fell and their boob popped out, or something classic must have occurred. No, not necessarily. Well, there you go. Let us know what you think. Maybe they should all be fired. Maybe you think it's funny. Give us your thoughts over at thenewsjunkie.com. We're still taking your Rate My Blanks for this week. Rate my weirdest talent. Let us know what it is. We might call you out on it and ask you to step up and prove it to us via a Zoom thing at some point this week. But tell us or show us, if you can, what your weirdest talent is with the dispatch you record over at thenewsjunkie.com or in the app. I want to get to the Target costume uproar, furor, and everything happening with that. We'll see what's happening there in a moment. First, a couple of emails to get us started. Here is an email to tips@thenewsjunkie.com about the Savannah bananas we talked about yesterday. People on chat seem to think that they peaked. I disagree. I think they're exploding right now. I think it's actually a pretty great business they're running. This person says about the Savannah Bananas, they just played 2 games at Busch Field. That's the St. Louis Cardinals MLB stadium. They sold out that stadium at over 46,000 people in attendance. The Cardinals' average attendance for this month is around 26,000 people.
Awkward.
That's got to hurt, right? They did better in that stadium than the hometown team. Banana Ball is huge and not cheap to attend either, he says. Thank you for the email. Trevor emails the show about the State Farm money. He says, hello, thanks for the tip on that mailbox money. I found 2 emails in my spam folder, as the emailer yesterday suggested. I replied, and I'm getting 2 payments totaling $296. You get an email for each vehicle, so definitely look, as they said. Thanks again.
Everybody is just rolling in the State Farm dough.
Not me, though. I didn't get anything here. It's unbelievable. Tom says about flock cameras, hey, Sean, regarding the flock cameras, license plate reader cameras have been around for at least 25 years and were never an issue until lately.
They were used quite differently, and they were not as plentiful.
Were they as... if he says 25 years ago, if we're talking 2001, if there were license plate readers, were they anywhere near as sophisticated as they are now? Isn't that
likely? Not likely at all.
I don't think in 2001 you could go, we're looking for a white Honda Civic from 1999 with a Pittsburgh Pirates sticker on the back window, or the back window? Yeah.
Sure.
What's it called? Is it called a window?
Windshield.
Back, whatever that is.
Rear window.
I don't want to get too lost in the muck here, but I don't think you'd be able to do that in 2001. I think it's because it's so much more powerful now. But
also, license plate readers, were they automated license plate readers back in 2001, or were you just going to look for footage and seeing if you could read the plate?
I don't know.
I would be curious, show me the 2001 version of the license plate reader and tell me what it's capable of versus you have a flock camera where, for all intents and purposes, unless I'm missing something, you do not need a whole lot of infrastructure add-on to install this. It's pretty
I don't think so.
Pretty self-contained. It's powered by solar energy that probably charges a battery for its use at nighttime. It has likely some sort of cell antenna with a SIM card in it or some similar thing that just connects it to the internet and then lets it do its thing. I mean, there's a handful of things about these, and just the internet is different. Things are faster. Information moves so much faster now than in 2001, even if it doesn't seem like it.
I mean, look, even watch like September 11th coverage of the news and how low quality it looked.
What happened?
We weren't even on HD. On September 11th, it was C-Lane's birthday. There was a whole to-do about it.
Oh, yeah.
There was a whole thing. I was never a big fan of them, and I didn't see a lot of value until recently when the technology greatly improved with the readers themselves, and they no longer rely on an external power source. Also, Flock changed the game, having such a wide network of cameras to search for data. They really cornered the market. As far as privacy, this was tested many years ago, and it was found there was no expectation of privacy on public streets, and there was no privacy as far as our license plate numbers. Now, that may be true. It may be that in public you don't have an expectation of privacy, but it doesn't mean that people can utilize the data collected for their own weird hot girl searches, right? Like when a police officer uses these databases in unapproved ways, that is a violation. I don't know if it would be our Fourth Amendment rights, but it'd be a violation of some right that you have out there somewhere. They're not supposed to be doing that. I used to work for a small town and resisted getting them until a few years ago. We leased about 10 cameras, and they did help in some cases. They said, take care, Tom. Thank you, Tom. I appreciate the email. And that'll do it for now. We're going to get kicked in full force when we come back. We got to talk about this Target dilemma. I guess Halloween is already underway. I thought it was August. I thought we were in August here, but Halloween already underway. And our first Halloween controversy has surfaced, so we'll discuss that. The new Uber feature that people are freaking around about. Tons of stuff on the Lindsay Clancy trial as things get even more dramatic. An explosive interview on Fox News and so much more. And it's all coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real Radio is on Facebook at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
From the Odoo.com Traffic Center.
Hello. Welcome behind the scenes. Our kingdom is all the light touches. And it's a Share the Show Tuesday. So touch one of your friends and tell them about the show. We did not hit our goal yesterday, which is just like, I'm sad. Today we're at a 0. Subscribe to support the show over at thenewsjunkie.com. All right, brand new feature over there, by the way. I launched the predictions thing. It's in beta, but you can predict the outcome of the Lindsay Clancy trial. And we're going to hold you to it. There's a whole algorithm for news predictions that you can participate in. First, it's only available on the website, but soon the app, okay? So go make your prediction on the Lindsay Clancy case. And as for now, you can change it up until the jury starts deliberating. That's it. So you can make your decision, but you can change it as we go if you learn more information. Get your prediction in over at thenewsjunkie.com. I think I'm the only one who's predicted so far because nobody knows about it. Let me just see. Let me see. Oh, there's 2 predictions. One guilty, one not guilty so far. There's 2 predictions. Get yours in over at thenewsjunkie.com, all right? I just have a question here before we get into this story about the stupid Target Halloween costume thing. Is there anybody willing to admit that you already have your Halloween decorations up in August? On August 25th, in the year 2026 of our Lord? Is there anybody willing to admit that you already have Halloween decorations up? Because, you know, what are we going to do? I don't know what to do with these early Halloween people. You got to wait until at least September, right? I think that's being loosey-goosey. All right, 6 predictions in already. All right, good. Don't forget, we have a handful. I don't know how many left we have, but the canvas tote bags you could get for gifting subscriptions to support the show over at thenewsjunkie.com. You'll see them right there on the homepage. If you gift subscriptions, that's one of the items you claim, or you can claim. If you subscribe, you also get to claim one. And the magnets are only 1 point. It only costs 1 point. So if you subscribe, you can claim one of the OG magnets at thenewsjunkie.com. Let's get 25 on that board. We're at 0. Let's get to 25 within the next 4 hours. C-Lane's wife is already putting up Xmas stuff. Probably true. Couple of minutes and we're back live. I don't decorate of the Devil's Day, heathens. I just think we're already seeing all the Halloween stores are open. You've already got, and we're going to get into it in a moment, our first Halloween controversy. Sports says we've transitioned to fall, but not Halloween. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay? Fall decor is fine. Cosidia says, I put a skeleton in my front yard a week ago. God. This is what I'm talking about. You are in the middle of September putting up your Halloween decorations, which you'll probably leave up until the middle of November. September, October, November, that's 1/4 of the year. I get it. You like Halloween. I like Halloween. My neighbor never took the skeleton down from last year, so they're just 24/7, 365 with the skeleton, just all the time now? That's crazy. If Disney can do it, so can I. I mean, fair point. Yeah, I believe last night was Universal Studios' sort of test run for employees and VIPs. So last night was at the first Halloween Horror Nights soft open. They're already going. And Disney was going for, what, a couple of weeks now? Halloween has started. Dress rehearsal? Yeah. Tanya, thank you for the gifted sub. Tanya is on the board. And that moves us to 1. Look at her go. Thank you, Tanya, for the support. Appreciate that. Tanya's the best. You could be like her. Go over to the website and sign up or gift some subs. All right, 90 seconds. How many of you have seen, just to gauge the audience here, the Target offensive costume story, right? How many of have you seen that? Yes or no, chat? Have you seen the story yet? Target has pulled and apologized for some costume that they were selling. It seems to have exploded pretty good so far. We got a couple of yes. We got 1 nope. You're going to see it in just a moment. But it seems to be getting a lot of coverage because other than Lindsay Clancy, which is sort of a miserable endeavor to talk about, there's still not a lot popping off. However, we always find pay dirt around here. Nope, says Bear Lover. It's a dumb controversy. Steph loves it. Steph loves it, huh? Big surprise, Steph. Oh, boy. All right, I got a couple of twists and turns on this one that we're going to get into. Then we have a bunch of other things to hit on today. Including, I love the story about the NFL player who got sent back to high school like Billy Madison or something. It's like, there's something so great about that. All right, we're coming back.
At shopidc.com. International Diamond Center. You buy the jewelry, we give the getaway. Altamont Springs, Waterford Lakes, and Mall at Millennium.
The
Countdown to the new NFL season is on.
And now, all 32 in-market local teams can be heard on the free iHeartRadio app.
He's in! That's a Jet touchdown! Just open the app and search your favorite team.
Plus, Fox Sports Radio breaks it all down.
As we get closer to week 1. It's crazy, and it's fun.
Join the conversation and stay locked in. Live, local games with you all season long.
Download the iHeartRadio app.
Search NFL and press play.
Documenting and contributing to the decline in American culture. This
Their Halloween decorations out. I don't know what's going on. It's pandemonium out there. And we already have our first Halloween controversy, which we'll talk about here in a moment. But it's earlier than ever. I mean, Disney's been doing a Halloween thing now for a couple of weeks. I think Universal Studios did like a test rehearsal for Halloween Horror Nights. There's one person in my neighborhood that has a bunch of spooky decorations out. It's August. We're still in August here. We have really stretched out these end of the year holidays. It's kind of wild that we've done this. We'll talk about that in a moment. But first, this silly controversy that's spreading around because Target is apologizing. They are so sorry. They are on bended knee. They are desperately begging you to forgive them over a costume that they decided to sell on their website. Here is what's happening at Target right now.
Target is issuing an apology. The retailer speaks out in a statement August 24th to address backlash over a child's Halloween costume that it was allegedly selling under the name Kids Glows Under Blacklight Circus Clown.
All right.
What an exciting name.
But how about we talk about this? The trash name that they gave this costume is the biggest sin, actually. Kids Glows Under Blacklight Circus Clown?
Straight from the Alibaba listing.
What is that? It sounds like AI or something. It's Kids Glows Under Blacklight Circus Clown. Is the name of the costume.
I think it's like Kids Glows Under Blacklight Circus Clown.
Yes. But it's all together.
It's too long.
Right. I think it needs some hyphens in the glows under blacklight part to make it make sense a little more.
It sounds like they're talking to a search engine instead of a person. It's like they're trying to get all the information, like the keywords are trying to be shoved into there.
In the last handful of years, the popular Halloween meme is that you take something that is clearly supposed to emulate a copyrighted or trademarked idea.
Like Pennywise or something?
Like you would say...
sewer-dwelling clown with balloons?
Striped shirt burger stealer, and then you would have the picture of the kid in the very knockoff costume, but is not anybody's actual intellectual property. It is, in fact, striped shirt burger stealer.
Might I say, it sounds a bit like the Hamburglar. I just want to... All right. Apparently this is racist, so let's see.
This clown. Target writes in a statement posted to X August 24th, an apology from us.
Okay, I've got their apology in a second, but I care more about... Let me see the actual costume. Okay, here's the costume. Kids Glows Under Blacklight Circus Clown Halloween costume bodysuits. So there's even that. Hide and Eek is the name of the company, which is a Target company. It's like, what are their brands? I forgot what they call them, but inside brands,
store brands,
store brands. Yeah, it's one of their own. One of their own brands made this called Hide and Eek, and it's a Halloween costume where sort of looks a little Charlie Brownie actually. Like the shirt has like these squiggly lines on it, and it's black and orange. And then it has black gloves with it, and this big giant mask, and a little hat on top of your head. So you're like this crazy clown.
Were you looking for a private label brand?
Yeah,
that's what
like
they call
private label.
Like
Yes,
Kirkland Signature at a Costco. This would be Hide and Eek. Would be one of their private label brands of, in this case, Halloween costumes for Target.
Yeah, and then when you put it up next to something else, you're kind of trying to convince people like this is exactly what it looks like. I swear to God, if Target would have put a white kid in this costume, I don't know that there would be any controversy.
It looks like even if there was a white kid in the costume, that the mesh over the face darkens the face.
I don't see mesh over the bottom is like a mouth. It's like a clown mouth.
But what's the mouth on?
It's like a head wrap thing that like your eyes and your nose come out of it, but then it covers your mouth portion with this big giant smile. And I think like just juxtaposing it with the Sambo imagery and that kind of stuff makes people go, "Oh my God, how could they do this?" But I don't. If they put a white kid in it, wouldn't it just look like a clown with a big mask? I don't. To me, it wouldn't be racist if we didn't have all the stuff around it. I don't know that we would think this.
Aren't the gloves kind of? Those are black gloves, right?
Yeah, there's black gloves. Like, do clowns wear gloves? I literally don't know the answer to that question. But I think if there was a white kid in this costume, I don't think people would be freaking out. I think when you put a black kid in the costume, they're like, "Look, it looks like one of the Sambo things," and people start exploding. It's like this racist caricature.
What is a Sambo? Is that what we're looking at here?
Yeah, it's like caricatures of black people that they were doing in the 1800s,
like from a minstrel show.
Yeah, like minstrel show style things.
Mm-hmm. I knew that the I've never heard Sambo, but I knew that the line that they were drawing, the dots they were connecting were to minstrel shows.
Right. Yeah. Minstrel shows, I think usually done by white people in blackface to mock the intellect of black Americans at the time, et cetera, which obviously is racist and is something that people look back on with shame rightfully. But this, I don't see it that much. I think if it was a white kid, I don't think people would be saying this necessarily, but Target has apologized. Here is their apology, which is hilarious because like every other apology, people are like, not good enough, AI apology, which I love that. I love now it's like, this is Chat GPT apologies here. An apology from us, Target says. We pulled an offensive Halloween costume that should never have been part of our assortment. It's no longer for sale. As a company, we got this wrong and we are deeply sorry. We know this is especially hurtful for our Black capital B guests, team members, and partners. Removing the costume is an important first step, and the company is looking closely at how this happened and what needs to change to ensure this won't happen again. 13 million views. Target News account posted that, apologizing for this costume.
Easily the top viewed tweet by Target News.
100%, yeah. the intern over at the Target social media company was like, oh boy,
we've got a hit. Go.
I always like when they say stuff like, this is a first step. This is a first step. And removing the costume is an important first step. Like, are we to think that you're going to rewrite your corporation and everything that you do and all of your internal rules based on a stupid Halloween costume controversy? Like,
or, I mean, maybe just for our curiosity's sake, how many steps will there be? Is there first of 2 steps? First of 18 steps?
No. How many is the alcohol thing? How many?
That's a 12-step program.
12. Yeah, you're right. 12 steps. So we can start with this, Target.
How many does Michael Scott suggest at the meeting? He comes up with the number of steps before he comes up with the actual steps.
Does he shorten it? Because that seems like a Michael Scott thing.
Maybe.
This person says, a DEI comedian did a complete whiteface, and people are freaking out. They didn't say that. Over a costume. A bunch of responses where they Photoshop the kid into different stuff. Then they said Target limited the replies. Well, of course they did. Are you kidding me? Of course they did. Yeah, Target limited the replies because you guys are all goons on social media. The fact that we have to stay on these companies' necks is tiring because YTF would you ever even consider some caricature S and think it's going to fly? Angry emojis, says this person.
Sure.
Again, I'm more offended by the AI apology than the costume, this person said. It's so predictable what every comment thread is ever in the history of ever. It just is. I think my biggest issue with this is it's a stupid costume. It's not even a good costume. It's got a terrible
It's
name.
good enough for your thumbnail there, big guy.
I put it in the thumbnail because I'm an artist. That's why. I put it in the thumbnail because I'm an artist and I want to show people what it would look like with me in it. But it's an ugly costume. It looks like it's made of crappy material. I don't know what they were charging for this. It was online only.
What costume isn't made of crappy material?
I've seen some pretty impressive ones lately. Like, have you gone to? I know this is kind of corny.
Wait, at which point are we graduating from costume to just mascot? Like,
I don't know. You tell me. Courtney and I like to at least once a year go to the Spirit Halloween store and see all the new stuff that they have. Mm-hmm. And some of the costumes they have there, they're getting better and better and better and better. Just like the lawn, like the lawn ornament stuff that you put out for the holidays gets better and better. I think they're really getting impressive these days. If you look back into the beginning of Halloween stuff and what people would wear, it was garbage compared to now. It was stuff around your house. You would just go get like a bed sheet that was all old and dirty and you make a costume out of it. Now we're pretty advanced.
Make the scary ghost costume.
You make the scary ghost costume and you be careful because you might get in trouble for that one too. Possibilities are endless there, but Target has apologized. They are very, very sorry about all of this. Let us know what you think. I'll put that up on See It Now, actually. Hang on, let me see. I just got rid of it like an idiot. I'll bring it back up so I can place this on See It Now so you guys can judge for yourself. But they're calling it Summerween. Everything is so early now.
Isn't that when it gets bigger?
70%. Literally, I think it is.
Yes.
I think it may have even been called the same thing unless they went with something different. The Trend Summerween has retailers like the Home Depot, Michael's, Home Goods, and more. Home Goods is fun this time of year. Stocking skeletons, pumpkins, cauldrons, costumes weeks before fall even begins. 70% of shoppers plan to buy fall or Halloween items before September. Well, tap the brakes here. All right, I'm reading this from WPTV News. Tap the brakes. It's fine if you buy fall stuff right now.
Right.
It's fine if you put up like some fall-based decorations around your house.
At my house, there are some fall things. There are not necessarily Halloween things. They're fall in as much as they have the subdued fall tones in the coloring.
Y'all.
It's I don't think we have anything that says it's fall, y'all, Josh.
Lame.
We're not fall, y'all.
Is it like leaves falling or pumpkins or?
There's like a border, like a lit up border of fall leaves, like the color they would be if they fell off the trees, clearly. On one window, and then
that's fine.
And none of this stuff is outward facing. I don't think. Maybe there might be like one or two things. These are inside, and then above the fireplace there are some pumpkins, but they're like peach or like they're not Halloween orange.
They're not like jack-o'-lanterns.
No, they're not.
Because there's a difference,
and they're not the color of orange that is that makes up half of that Target costume.
All of that stuff is fine. That's good to go. That's just fall stuff, and we're getting into fall, which is kind of awesome. You shut the door on summer, move along to fall. The year is cruising along here. I'm totally fine with that. Courtney loves pumpkins. She gets a bunch of them. We'll do all of that stuff like we always do. But I literally am seeing people put actual Halloween decorations up in the middle of August, basically.
Buddy, the skeleton is still in the box, but fortunately for me, unfortunately for my wife, I think our schedule right now is looking in such a way that I don't know if she's going to be able to pop that skeleton out on September 1st.
Mm-hmm.
But it won't be too long.
September 1st, I think, is fine, too. I think it's just pushing back into August that I really start to take issue with, where I go, holy cow. Are we so miserable because of social media and Lindsay Clancy news that we have decided, like, we need the last entire quarter of the year? We need Halloween. It's going to be very, very long. Then we have Christmas for quite a long time. We need to wash all this crap out. I think there might be a little bit of that to it, but give us your thoughts. Let us know what you think over at thenewsjunkie.com. Quick break when we come back. A mistake on Fox News, a little bit of a blooper that happened on Fox News. I'll play that for you. We'll get into a new feature from Uber that has people freaking out. What did I say last time? Did I screw it up?
Freaking around.
Has people freaking around. You know what that means.
Been freaking around.
You know what it means. Freaking around in an Uber. There was an R&B song about that, I think. But When we come back, I'll tell you this new feature that has people freaking around and freaking out all wrapped into one. And that's coming up next on the News Junkie.
Classic Alternative this weekend on Real Radio 104.1.
Last cigarette, one before I go to bed.
Real Music Weekends are Classic Alternative.
There you are. Just putting this up on See It Now real quick. Target apologizes for costume after internet users freak out. Not too biased, right? All right, folks, I do want to say big fat ups. Hang on, let me refresh this so I can get the peeps. Big fat ups to TomTom with 5 subscriptions, 5 premium subscriptions gifted. Jan Pin with 2. Thank you, Jan Pin. Beware with 3. Tanya with 1 on the day. We're moving. I don't know if we're going to hit the goal, but we're at 11, baby. We're at 11 and 11. Let's see if we can make a little more progress on that. Go subscribe over on thenewsjunkie.com or gift a subscription to a beautiful person just like you. The Ohio minstrel looks just like the kid. I mean, I literally think it's just like a crazy-faced clown costume, but they used a black kid, which, hey, doesn't it kind of suck that some of these companies like Target and other people will be maybe more careful about using young black models for stuff? Oh, hold on. Let's see, we might get heat for this. Like, what the hell? It's a little kid. Give him the job. I think they may have made a minor mistake by having him pose like this, right? A little action pose. Minor mistake on that part. Otherwise, it's a friggin' clown costume. People don't have enough on their minds. I am so offended. There's plenty to be offended about. I don't know if that is it. Frankly, I'm surprised we don't have people putting up skeletons, holding flags, and shooting off Roman candles. Not yet. We shall see. All right, let's see what we have. A couple of things for you. Turns out Andrew Tate, I'm sure some of you know who Andrew Tate is, right? You know who Andrew Tate is. You're an Andrew Tate fan? Oh my God. Andrew Tate, it turns out he was faking it. He was a big phony. Andrew Tate was renting supercars to appear uber wealthy in order to generate more online engagement. His lawyers, for him and his brother Tristan, have claimed the pair deliberately portray themselves as richer than they are. Andrew and Tristan are social media personalities. Their business model depends on online attention. The outrageousness of the post by them and about them is the point. They even fake stuff with yachts, with supercars. They rent them. They didn't own the $2.1 million Aston Martin or the Bugatti that was $5 million. It was rented. They're broke boys. They're broke boys. I don't care where you're coming from. There is nothing gayer in the world. Okay? Mr. Tate, nothing gayer in the world that you could do, because I know that's probably the title you'd want to run from the most, than renting supercars to pretend like you're rich. That is, without a doubt, one of the lamest things I've ever heard of in my life. Pathetic, weird, fake, phony shit. That is the lamest thing you could do. Well, you're like it's like a rapper for a Cribs episode. What are you doing? But it turns out they were faking the whole thing. What? I am canceling my Tate University membership? Please tell me they don't still have those. Please tell me that's not a thing still. Tate University. Wonder if we're ever going to see a football player before the game, and when they go to announce their colleges, their alma maters. Deshaun Johnson, Tate University. Gotta happen at some point, right? Canada, breaking news. Canada has just announced $20 billion of retaliatory tariffs. They're tariffing our milk, our steel, and our plywood. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Here we go. We're coming back.
200 in rewards within 21 days. That's code WTKS. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. Event trading offered by DraftKings Predictions, a CFTC registered introducing broker. Trading involves a risk of loss. Market availability varies. Eligibility restrictions apply. $50 every 7 days via click-to-claim issued in non-withdrawable predictions dollars that expire in 1 year. Terms dkng.co/predictions promo. Nationwide based on sportsbook predictions and free-to-play sports context availability. Varies by state.
With the Discover Cashback Card, it's payback time when you earn cash back on everyday purchases. Activate and earn 5% cash back at different categories each quarter on up to $1,500 in purchases. It pays to Discover. See discover.com/5 for details.
Story time with the best friends you never knew you had. This
YouTube.com/TheNewsJunkie. A new Uber feature that has people freaking out and freaking around. I'll tell you what's going on in just a moment with that. They're announcing that they're going to rename something else. The Trump administration, we got the Gulf of America, all right? And they got the Gulf of America changed. I don't know if it's on Google Maps and stuff, but I think that's kind of out there now.
No, I believe it is. I believe that was that was one of the points where people were like, "Oh, we got to start taking this seriously." Google Maps says it.
Now, a dumb question, but does Google Maps show that to Americans, and then like Mexicans will see if they're on Google Maps, they see like Gulf of Mexico still?
Ooh, a VPN could answer this question.
I don't know.
It does say Google Maps displays Gulf of America for users located in the U.S.
Okay, so it's for Americans. We've renamed the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America.
Hell yeah.
And then there was some talk recently about that Iranian Strait of Hormuz, which I stand by is the most useless waterway in the world. It doesn't even go anywhere. Just allows stuff to go in and out of the Middle East. And, if they don't get anything for a while, that might be fine by me. And, let's get our oil from other places so we don't have to worry about anything coming out of there. But anyhow, Trump said that they're going to take the Strait of Hormuz and rename that. And then now we're fighting with Canada about the trade stuff. And I want you to brace yourself because President Trump has said today that he's considering changing the name of Lake Ontario to Lake America.
Yeah.
Lake Ontario to Lake America.
No. Then we're going to lose that whole way that we remember the names of the Great Lakes.
Too bad. You
But it's supposed to be Hames?
The trade war between the United States and Canada has intensified, and they're going to change Lake Ontario to Lake America. Might I say, this is starting to seem a little bit like freedom fries. We learned this at our live show. Over the years, Americans have renamed all sorts of dishes when a country becomes traitorous to us. A country becomes traitorous to us. So, let's say we're
the other thing can be pretty traitorous too.
You're moving. Let's say we're at war with Iran because we are, right? And then if there was some kind of delicious Iranian treat called Iranian pancakes in the United States of America, we'd go, we're going to rename them. We did this with freedom fries for a little while. And we didn't want French in there because they weren't supporting us enough after 9/11. And in that period of time, we said, we're going to stop calling them French fries. We're calling them freedom fries. Canada has done that. Canada changed the name of like some coffee drink or something.
The Americano.
The Americano.
Which is basically, instead of like a regular brewed coffee, you would do hot water with a couple shots of espresso in it, and that's your Americano.
That sounds terrible.
It's not bad.
Just me, but
if you're out of other regular coffee that you would get, it's not a bad alternative.
What I'm saying is, can we get a little more creative with the naming? Is just America going to go in everywhere? Gulf of America, America Land instead of Greenland, the Strait of America. Are we just
honestly
Lake America?
I would take this over him going, these are the Great Lakes, and I can think of no greater name. We're going to change it to Lake Trump.
No, he comes up with good names sometimes. Remember the discombobulator? He came up with the name discombobulator about some mystery weapon that we may or may not have had that we used on Venezuela when we grabbed their president in the middle of the night. And his wife, I believe. I don't know. But we just come up with it's the same name for everything. So Lake Ontario, possibly going to be Lake America, as we're fighting with Canada. Canada is not agreeing to the tariff demands that we had, which I guess I don't blame them necessarily. I think that the Trump administration tried to say to Canada, we are doing all of these tariffs on steel, and we want you also to do these tariffs on steel from other countries to match our tariffs. And Canada's like, we're not going to do that. We'll make a deal with you, and we'll have a trade deal back and forth with the United States, but we're not going to say to trade with the United States in this way. We'll also copy their tariffs against other countries' steel. And they walked away from the negotiations, and that's where we find ourselves now. I don't know that I've noticed a big deal in the Canadian side of things. I heard some alcohol is still maybe not available as easily in Canada. American alcohol brands have been hit somewhat if they rely on that market a lot to sell their wares. That's about all that I've heard on this, but that's where we are now, and there might be a Lake America rewrite on things. Yes. Ontario out, America in. We'll see if it happens. Uber has a new feature. Here's what I was talking about, and this is from ABC News. They say Uber has launched a live video streaming feature for teenage rides, letting parents watch their trips in real time. Starting now, today, right now, Uber is rolling out live video streaming for Uber teen accounts. So if you have a teenager, you link a parent's account to that, and then when they get into the Uber, they start streaming with the front-facing camera on the driver's phone. On the driver's phone, I guess? Yeah, this is what it says. They start streaming in real time on the front-facing camera on the driver's phone. The feature is designed to give parents another way to check in on teens who may be using Uber to get to and from school, sports, activities, or other destinations on their own. Let's pause there for a second. What are the rules? I thought, remember when that one kid got in an Uber, went to the airport, and people were mad at the Uber driver? I thought kids couldn't even get in Uber.
He was like 10 or 11 years old.
Yeah, he was too young.
This was saying for teens.
But teenagers are allowed and preteens not?
It sounds like they might have some sort of feature where you can have an Uber account for your teen. I don't know exactly how it works.
They have Uber for teens linked to a parent or guardian's profile, and teens aged 13 to 17 can use it independently.
Okay. So teens aged 13 to 17, I'm guessing before they let them sort of track the ride, and now they're letting them watch the ride.
And if I had to guess, I would at least hope that you could, as a driver, say, listen, thanks but no thanks. I don't want to participate in Uber teens. Just like I don't want to participate in Uber pet. Like I don't want your pets in my car. I would hope be able to say, I also don't want your kids in my car, especially now.
I would say no to that.
Now that they're saying not only are we having the option of letting kids in these cars unattended, but we're going to allow the parents to live stream it the entire time.
Yeah, they're through the driver's phones, because it says when live video is available, the parent or guardian linked to the teen's account will receive a push notification on Uber after the trip begins. The guardian can tap the notification to begin watching the ride from within the Uber app. Through the driver's front-facing smartphone camera, the parent or guardian can see both the teen and the driver inside the vehicle in real time. Eligible drivers will receive onboarding about the feature, including recommendations for positioning their phones. Drivers can also
Yeah,
preview
okay.
the camera angle when they are not on a trip. And then they assure us that all the footage will be deleted immediately after, right?
But also, why would you delete the footage? I mean, it seems like something you should keep if something goes wrong, goes down.
True.
Yeah. But, I mean, for both the driver's sake and the rider's sake. You know, like if say the parent was not live streaming it, but the teen was being a little ass and just like, you know, spilling stuff in the car or acting like a dick or, you know, being disrespectful or not following rules, like the driver would want that footage. It's why tons of drivers have their own dash cams.
Yeah, they probably do. I don't know if a majority of them have, but it probably is close if not, because so many of them have cameras. To
One
be
of
smart.
the biggest viral stories of the day is all in front of our eyes because an Uber driver had a two-way dash cam.
Yeah. I mean, Dwayne says seems creepy. Is it creepy though? It doesn't really seem creepy to me. It just seems like maybe helicopter parenting, but what it seems like is parents are taking doom and gloom stories. There's probably some story about some kid getting abducted somewhere, and then they're worried that that's going to happen to their child as well. But if it doesn't really affect anything in a negative way and it just uses the technology they already have, why not? I guess.
Sure. It does sound like it can get annoying. Like, I wouldn't want the opportunity for the parent to chime in and be like, hey, I can't see a good enough angle of my kid right now. Could you have him slide over? Could you readjust? It already said, you read right there in the story, they're going to provide drivers with advice on how to position their cameras so that they could do this. That sounds like just another annoyance that drivers will have to deal with. And it's like, oh, what am I going to get a docked a star on my rating because the parent didn't have a great view of its precious little snowflake? I don't like that.
You know what? I think this is not going far enough. I think they need to let the parents in on a live video call while the kid is in the vehicle so the parents can speak in real time to the driver and the kids and then just bother them from the jump. You get in there and the woman's like, hey, is that my kid in the back seat? They're talking to you the whole time. How many Uber drivers are going to say big fat no to this? How many Uber drivers don't want teenagers to begin with in their car? Much less the expectation of kind of babysitting them while the parents just spy in and look into the car.
Does one as an Uber driver see any extra money for that? Are the parents paying a premium for you driving around their kids? Like I would pay extra to bring my dog Lexi in an Uber, or I would pay extra to get a bigger Uber or a blacker Uber?
Good question.
The car, not the driver.
Sorry, I'm going to have to turn you away.
I saw both of your
looking for something
faces.
blacker. Sir, this is not going to cut it for me. It's just not,
Hashtag Uber so white.
Get it. Turn around and get out of here.
What is this, charcoal? Piss off.
Nonsense. I want to hear from Uber drivers right now. Email us, tips@thenewsjunkie.com, and tell us what you've learned about this so far. Quick break. When we come back, we kick off the second hour of the show with a story about a billionaire doing something, well, really embarrassing. I'll explain. That's coming up next on The News Junkie.
Coke Zero Sugar 400 returns to the world center of racing.
Chat, if you were an Uber driver, would you say yes or no to this feature? If you were an Uber driver, would you say yes or no? Kids suck? Some of them do. Nope. No. Yeah, I mean, I think I would keep it to adults in my Uber. But Zero says yes if it paid more, and I agree with Zero on that front. Like, if you're giving me twice as much because I'm kind of having to be a little bit of a babysitter too, then now we're talking. Now we're talking. I love things like that too, that people can empower themselves to do. As long as you're not a sex offender or something, I'm pretty sure you could be an Uber driver. You're driving kids out there, and if you make double the money, now you're out there grinding. I love you, Uber drivers. I dig you. Kids in the back seat, not so much. Sean is always putting it out there that he wants to babysit kids. This is not true. No. That is absolutely fake news. Here we go. The Girl Scouts of America offers Muslim badges to be earned by learning the pillars of Islam and visiting mosques, says a story going viral today. One of the responses, never buy Girl Scout cookies again. Never buy Girl Scout cookies again, says Ryan S. on Twitter. His response alone with 464,000 views. This is one of those controversy things. The Girl Scout apparently allows other organizations to do different badges. So like the Christian church, the Catholic church, all the different churches are able to have their own little program to get extra badges. And it just so happens that Muslims also have that. So we got the freak out mode thing, and we're never going to buy Girl Scout cookies again. What's going on with my little guy? Although I will say, I have not had a Girl Scout cookie in years. So I don't know if they're good. Still. But it's a fake news story. It's a controversy. Sean, I actually needed you to babysit in the coming weeks. Are you available? No. No, I'm not. Sorry. Allahu Akbar badge. There are 1 million Girl Scout badges. You can get them for snot crafts. What's snot crafts? FFS. What's snot crafts? Yeah, I think this is like just scare tactics. So like, oh my God, the Muslims have Girl Scout badges. First, they opened the Boy Scouts to the girls, and now the Muslims are infiltrating the Girl Scouts. It's like, it's just a program that they do with any organization that can offer their own badges. So the major religions open themselves up to the Girl Scouts to earn some badges if they're already of that faith, probably. It doesn't seem like a big deal to me. Doesn't seem like a big deal. There's far more pressing issues to worry about. I could give you some spooky Muslim stories if you want, but that's not one of them. Sean for a babysitter? Chat, be honest. Yes or no? Would you actually let me babysit your children? Would you trust me to babysit your children? Yes or no? Be honest. No wrong answers. Would you legitimately let me be a babysitter? You know me now. You've gotten to know me over the years. I am trustworthy. I do what I say I'm going to do. I don't lie about stuff. I won't talk to your kid like a baby. So I'll talk to them like an adult, which I think is supposed to be good. I would be a good babysitter. I don't want to, but I would do it. Yes, why not? F yeah. I've met your son, so yes, I would absolutely trust you. Yes. Yes, I would, because Courtney would be doing all the work. Probably true. They're going to put bombs in our cookies? I'd let you watch my kids, but 2/3 of them are adults now. No, but it would be for your protection. My twins would have killed you. Man, I got to be honest with you. I don't know how anybody survives twins, much less triplets. Like, one baby can create so much pandemonium moving around constantly, like a little chimp, space to space all around the room. And then to think 2 of them, insanity. That's too much responsibility. Courtney is at Publix spending Sean's cash. No, she's not now. She's not there. Not at the moment. A billionaire busted doing something embarrassing. I'll tell you what it is. We're coming back right now.
Any dilemma, that's the Frank Gay way.
That's the Frank Gay way.
FrankGayServices.com.
Hey, it's that mortgage guy, Don. I can get you pre-approved in as little as 1 day, even if you're a first-time homebuyer. Get answers today at thatmortgageguyDon.com.
Do you have AC needs? Turn to the experts at Carrier. Go to millsair.com.
Portions of the following program were pre-recorded.
Live from the JustCallMo.com studios. Got a question after an accident? Just call Mo. Visit JustCallMo.com or dial 1-800-CALL-MO. This is WTKS-FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando. An iHeart radio station. Guaranteed human. If you're not confused, you are not paying attention. This is the News Junkie.
The folks in chat during the break said they would, almost all of them, trust me to babysit their kids. And I think I'd say a little something about the bond we have formed here. You would trust me with your children, that I would be able to take care of them and that they wouldn't get hurt. And then, like, I would be better than an Uber driver with this new feature going around streaming you to the parents or whatever. They would trust me more. Now, I don't know if you would trust me over C-Lane or perhaps over Josh, or if they have more respect, but I'm just glad I have at least some from you folks. It makes me feel good about myself a little bit. Although I feel like C-Lane has the leg up, right? He's got a 2-year-old kid.
I think they might, maybe gravitate towards the person who's currently taking care of a child.
Boo. Yeah, it makes sense. I agree. How's Jackson doing in his new school, by the way?
It's good. They just picked him up, and, I don't think he peed at school today, so that's good.
Nice.
Thank God.
Yeah, there you go. All right. Are you doing anything special to train him to not do that?
Yes, bribery, 100% bribery.
How do you bribe him? How do you bribe a 2-year-old?
He has a basket of items that he will receive a choice of if he successfully goes in the potty.
Wow. This is like half of childhood is bribery. You like learn things from bribery?
Or anti-bribery, like, the threat of taking something away if you're being a dick.
Would you even do that, though?
Yes.
Would you take away his tablet or take away a toy?
Yank it right out of his hands.
And he's going to cry and you're not going to crack and give it back to him?
Yes.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
I would.
Bad guy.
Or if he's talking back, I reach for the remote and turn off Paw Patrol like
wow.
Couldn't turn it off faster.
Could you?
Wow. What's in this little thing of the treats that he gets? Is it like food or toys?
You can have a Skittle or an M&M or multiple mini M&Ms. And
Skittle
usually
must rock
a
his
sticker.
world.
Yeah.
All right.
And if he poops in the potty, he gets 2 Skittles.
Whoa. Hell of a deal.
Do you have him sometimes where he only has to pee, but he's trying to poop to get that Skittle?
No, because he hasn't gotten 2 Skittles yet. So we're working on it. But the other motivation we use is shame. So his mom or myself will come out of the bathroom and be like, 2 Skittles, high five. Jackson didn't get 2 Skittles. I got 2 Skittles.
Oh, that sounds better than I thought. I thought you were saying when he comes home from school and he's peed himself, you guys just laugh at him and mock him.
That's frowned upon.
Pee yourself again, little baby.
Yeah.
It might work, though.
I hope they still have the radio on.
It'll build them up. You got to make them tough these days. It's a tough time out there. So, I hope that goes well for him. It seems like a Skittle would just be so amazing to a kid like that. He'll do basically anything for it. Okay, I did have this blooper from Fox that I teased, so let me play this real quick. There is a NASA plan that's going, NASA mission that's underway, and I guess they have named something the Nancy Grace, and on Fox News, they didn't know that Nancy Grace was an astronaut. They thought it was Nancy Grace, the news lady.
Top mom.
They thought it was the
devil is dancing tonight.
They thought it was her, which, by the way,
would have been hilarious if NASA did that. If they did that, and put
it would be even more hilarious if Nancy Grace herself thought the honor went to her.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Here they are. Let's listen to them on Fox.
I have to ask you, how did you come up with Nancy Grace? Because that really sticks out. I mean, she's a well-known name in television. How did she end up getting her name attached to that mission?
Well, you're talking about NASA's chief astronomer and first chief astronomer, and when you think about the potential of this mission,
he doesn't know yet. He hasn't realized.
No, but he's still staring at the camera like, yeah, stop blabbing and tell me about the news lady. Why is this mission named after the news lady, Nancy Grace?
Who came before me probably solicited a lot of great ideas for the name that should be attached to America's next great exploration asset, and we have the Nancy Grace Roman Space Telescope next up to launch this weekend.
So it's not that Nancy Grace, it's someone else at NASA.
It's one of NASA's many great contributors.
Now that explains it. All right, last
buddy.
That explains it.
I have to stop here. Are you telling me at a network, this is Fox Business, like this guy just swaggers onto the set? No one hands him any notes? Like, hey, it's going to be called the Nancy Grace Telescope, but don't worry, it's not the Nancy Grace TV lady. It's actually a historic figure that is of importance at NASA. And this woman was a huge part of the space program over there, and they're doing it to honor her and her name. And like, no one says anything. They just send this bloated loser up to the stage, and it goes, obviously, it's Nancy Grace. It's the news lady. That's what it is. Oh, that's embarrassing, man. It's like zero fact checking going on there. Or that's not even in the, like, that could be in the teleprompter.
I do very much enjoy the way that he kind of faux pas himself and was like, oh, so it's not that Nancy Grace. Like, I thought he kind of recovered well.
Mm-hmm. Afterwards?
Could have been so much worse.
Yeah, if he was really trying to cover it up, he would have just been like pretended it was a joke or something. He didn't. He didn't do that.
That's what I might have done. Obviously, Mr. Director, I'm kidding about that. I clearly know that the top astronomer's name is Nancy Grace.
Yeah.
Somebody give me some information about Nancy Grace.
What we would have done is Wikipedia'd Nancy Grace, NASA, and come up with Nancy Grace Roman, an American astronomer who made important contributions to stellar classification and stellar motions, the first female executive at NASA, and NASA's first chief of astronomy through the 60s and 70s. Of course I know that. Everybody does. So do you. She was a looker.
All right.
That's a sturdy woman.
Sturdy is the wordy. That is...
That's a man, baby.
They didn't put her photo on the side of the telescope. Just her name.
She looks like.
That's better. That's
okay.
better.
I was gonna say that first picture. She looks like Judge Reinhold would play her in a biopic.
I think it was not a friendly photograph that they used of her. It's like Jack does this to me at different events. If they need to use a photo of me, Jack tends to find the worst one possible. Or C-Lane, he'll use the photo of C-Lane with the black eye.
He doesn't do that anymore. He doesn't do that. Although the picture of me with the black eye was part of this year's, magnet frame.
Mm-hmm.
So, but it wasn't on the eye knocked out C-Lane award.
Well, this lady is much better in every measurable way than Nancy Grace. Everybody knows it. You know it. I know it. We all know it. And
now that guy from Fox News knows it.
Now the Wide Field Infrared Survey Telescope is going to be called the Nancy Grace Roman Space Telescope, which is much better. Also, it's Nancy Grace Roman, so it's not even Nancy Grace.
Wait, so the Wide Field Infrared Survey Telescope.
Yep, that one. Mm-hmm.
So the Nancy Grace W Fist.
Yep, yeah, it is the W Fist, actually. Yeah, the Nancy Grace Roman Space Telescope is what they renamed it to. Let us know what you think. Send a dispatch over thenewsjunkie.com. All right, I wanted to get to this billionaire embarrassing himself. I don't know what's going on in the world of billionaires. It's not even the first time that I've seen something like this happen. But as we know around here, being big into sports,
The San Francisco 49ers is owned by a gentleman named Jed York.
Mm-hmm.
Not a lot of Jeds these days, right? The ownership of the National Football League is getting very interesting.
This one does seem like he could keep his family fed.
This guy here, this is Jed York, not from the Beverly Hillbillies. Jed York is some sort of billionaire who owns the San Francisco 49ers and is the Kwanzaa lady. Oh, she owns one of the football teams now too, right?
I think she owns the Padres.
She has a baseball team?
Baseball,
Okay.
yeah.
So there's a lot of interesting new owners wandering into these professional sports. But San Francisco 49ers owner Jed York has pleaded no contest to misdemeanor charges this week after being arrested on suspicion of engaging in prostitution. According to Columbiana County, Ohio records obtained by ESPN, the San Francisco 49ers owner York allegedly responded to an undercover ad on a known prostitution website and arranged to have sexual activity with a female in exchange for $140. You, sir, are a billionaire. You are a
saver.
Billionaire. What?
That's how you become a billionaire, Sean.
You're a billionaire.
Not by spending.
$140 is what I like. Don't you, if you get the really expensive escorts, aren't they for things like a little bit of confidentiality?
Sure.
You're going to get a little bit of privacy. There might be something where you can expect that they will not tell everybody who you are and what you're doing with them. What embarrassing things you're doing behind closed doors.
You can afford discretion, sir.
Yes, exactly, Josh. And here's the thing.
I would expect this guy to be paying like $140 per thrust.
Yeah, yeah. And not going to the same website as me. Imagine that. We do live in an amazing time.
Wait, which website do you go to?
Well, billionaires have the same phones that we have. They go to get hookers off the same websites as us. I'm saying us like I'm doing it, aren't I? That's where
I was going with that.
That's what it sounds like.
Let me back off of that. Yeah, I didn't catch on it. I do not buy hookers. I don't get them for free either. I don't. $140 is a lot. What are you talking about? $140 is like a family of four going to Chick-fil-A. It's not a lot for sex. But the guy's a billionaire. All right? Sex isn't embarrassing. Well, it doesn't have to be embarrassing, but if you're a billionaire and you're buying it from some person on a website for $140, it does seem a little bit, I don't know, strange. He was arrested upon arriving at the meeting location with the cell phone used to arrange the meeting. An arrest report filed by the East Palestine Police Department. We let them be police officers. Notes York was arrested Sunday at 9:35 a.m. This guy's getting a $140 hooker at 9:35 in the morning. Jesus.
When do you normally get them?
Not at 9:35 in the morning. Maybe I'm wrong about this. Hookers, please email the show. I would guess if there was a pie chart of times when men hire hookers, almost all of the activity is going to be between 9 p.m. and midnight.
Well, I would guess they would more accurately or just visually put that in a line graph instead of a pie chart.
No, so a line graph then, asshole. There's a bar graph.
Get that schmutz out of your eye?
Yes. Okay. No, I didn't all the way. All right. So a bar or line graph, if it showed hours that people purchase prostitutes, by the most popular being the tallest, I would assume like 9 to midnight would be the tallest, followed by midnight to like 3 would be the next tallest. And then I would think that 9 in the morning, like 9 to noon, would be the least busy hours for a prostitute.
I think, though, there would be a relative chart on the pricing of said hookers because, relative to the times they're being. Not a relative chart.
You get a cousin.
Not a family tree, Sean.
Well, you mean relative to what? Like relative to how much they're charging for it?
Yes, like the price of the hooker. I think the ones that are on the lower scale, maybe your $50 to $140 would be more utilized in those daytime hours. where like the strip club would have the B squad, you would have the cheaper hookers.
Right.
Because I mean, the ones in Hooker Row or wherever you're going.
Hooker Row?
Yeah.
Welcome to Hooker Row.
Right off of Slut Street.
Just like Jurassic Park. The gate opens up. Yeah. You pop out of the top of the Jeep Wrangler.
Drop your sunglasses. Doth mine eyes deceive me?
Yeah. Jed York didn't do it that way. He just went to this website and hired a woman for $140. It doesn't even say for what. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if that was for the full.
Yeah, sure.
Authorities initially charged York with misdemeanor counts of engaging in prostitution, engaging in prostitution and possessing criminal tools. The former charge was amended to misdemeanor disorderly conduct as a result of a plea agreement.
The tack-onery of charges is getting a little ridiculous. The possession of criminal tools, because he used his cell phone, a thing that everybody has.
Or his penis.
He used...
Could have been that. I don't know.
If that's a criminal tool, then he's got more problems than we're reading about.
Technically, it was.
But
this kid.
He didn't use it in a criminal matter yet because he already got arrested.
Yeah.
But if he's using his cell phone to hire a hooker, and they're like, "Well, now the cell phone's a criminal tool. Now we're going to charge you with possessing a criminal tool." Like, can you only get the one charge if you just analog go to Hooker Row and be like, "Excuse me, madam, I won't be using a credit card for this because that might be unlawful use of a credit card, and I definitely won't get the number to text you because that'll be unlawful use of a two-way communication device. I would just like to be on the hook for prostitution."
You just found a loophole, my friend. Court records say the local
you got to
prosecutor
pay more than $140 for that.
Filed a plea arrangement Monday morning as York, again the owner of the San Francisco 49ers and a billionaire, pleaded no contest and paid $1,150 in fines, which is hilariously $1,000 more than the prostitute would have cost. He was sentenced to 1 day in jail for each charge, with 1 day already considered to be served. So there they go. The owner of the San Francisco 49ers, billionaire Jed York. They're just like you and I, man. I think the guy, Robert Kraft, who owns the Patriots, I think he was just going to a regular sort of massage place.
Sure.
Like one that you would have gone to, too. You would think that billionaires had this selective access to these different places, but they're still using Backpage or whatever the current version of that is and various other things. Wow. I don't even know. It's a wild time, man. Wild time. But there you go. We'll see what you think about that. Jed York in some trouble. Won't get a telescope named after him anytime soon, I would imagine.
There's got to be somewhere like some billionaire that's like, Jed. Did nobody tell Jed about the app that we all use, the secret billionaire hooker app?
Isn't this what Heidi Fleiss was for? Like, that was her thing.
Right. She was a madam.
Discreet call girls. All right, quick break. When we come back, we'll get into your reactions. Got some dispatches coming in, got some Rate My Blanks coming in, and a whole lot more. And that is coming up next on the News Junkie.
AI can write jokes. We know when to pause for a laugh. Real Radio 104.1. Guaranteed human.
Looking at some heavy morning traffic in the Orlando area for those traveling east and westbound on I-4, with heavy delays reported between the 408 exit and Robinson Street, as well as between the Greenway and 535. Activity is still currently partially blocking the on-ramp to I-4 eastbound from Amelia Street. If you see any major problems on the roads today, make sure you're calling the Valvoline Instant Oil Change traffic tip line at 866-676-8477. With traffic, I'm Samantha Canning.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.com.
Hi, I'm Kyle at Blindster.com. Tired of overpriced blinds? Blindster makes custom blinds simple and affordable. You measure at home, install yourself, and save big. No retail store markups, just custom blinds guaranteed to fit. Blindster.com.
Our iHeartRadio Music Festival,
presented by Capital One,
is coming back to Las Vegas.
Hello. Folks, question for you. What would your thoughts be in 3 words? You have 3 words. If you were pulled in to a meeting today and they told you there's been a problem. They tell you, sit down. There's been a problem. We made a mistake. And it looks like you haven't actually graduated high school. So what we're going to do, naturally, you at your age now, we're going to have to send you back to high school for 1 week so that you can finish up the stuff that somehow went missing and went by the wayside when they accidentally gave you your high school diploma. You're going to have to go back and do all the stuff you forgot to do in high school for 1 week. If you had to go back to high school for 1 week, as you are now, at the age you are now, how would you feel about that in 3 words? You have 3 words. Take the GED. It's only a week, though, Seawitch. You go a little Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday action, and then you're right back to work. Work is going to pay you for it. You get paid the same, but you got to go back to secure that high school diploma. And they say, we don't accept employees with GEDs. You could GED your ass out of here. F that, sir. Teacher graped me. Kill me now. You have 3 words. You're going back to high school for a week. You feeding me? Let's effing go. With high school kids? Yes. Billy Madison plot? Yes. In many ways. I asked this for a reason. Because there is currently an NFL player, and since I'm so locked into sports, I know a lot about this stuff. And this NFL player, because of a court ruling, could be sent from the Cleveland Browns NFL team back to LSU, making him the first player ever in the history of the sport to go from an NFL team back to a college team. You imagine that? Like you leave, you've broken through, you're on the Browns, you're on an NFL team, and then there's a court ruling that sends you back to college. Get the hell out of here. Back to college you go. All do without. Hot for teacher, says Sun State John. He's not sent back. He wanted to go. I know. I'm going to get into the details. Yeah, I know he wants it. But it's interesting to go from the NFL back into a college situation, back into the locker room. And that's what's happening to this guy after a court has ordered this. Sean needs a hat that just says sports. I have a hat that says NFL. That'll have to do. Jam Pin says, I would love it. High school was great. Maybe high school was great for you, but imagine being in high school at your age right now. I'm going to take a wild guess and say you're not 19 years old. I'm going to say you're not 19. And I don't know if you could pull it off like Josie Grossi. I don't know. Maybe you can. Zoomer ageist bullies. Maybe they'll probably bully you, right? Craziness. Imagine that, man. I got the story with the details on this. I've got more of your dispatches. And I got an anonymous email to get to here. All right, we'll get to these 2 emails and then this guy going back to college. Going back to college. We're at 13 on our gifted subs. Goal is 25. Subscribe now for a premium account over on thenewsjunkie.com. We're coming back.
Answers. I'm just really confused about what happened that day.
A new podcast series, Fault Line Haditha, tells the story of a shocking crime and a cover-up at the highest levels of the United States Marine Corps.
If you've got 5 players and you offer immunity to 4, you better be right about the 5th. Because if you're not, then you've just given immunity to your killer.
Listen to Fault Line Haditha on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Follow Fault Line Haditha and start listening on the free iHeart Radio app today.
Go to markspain.com to get a guaranteed offer on your home today and start packing.
Today is Mo Better with Josh Fowler, courtesy of Just Call Mo, Orlando's injury attorneys. Occupying the space between high society and prison tattoos. This is the News Junk.
A court is sending him back to high school, which I cannot even imagine.
To school, back to school.
You imagine you're a grown-ass adult now. You're playing for the Cleveland Browns. You're in the NFL. And then,
prove to coach I'm not a fool.
I'll give you the info on that in just a moment. First, this tips@thenewsjunkie.com. An emailer says, about that Target costume controversy, the first person to complain about the costume was seeing something that wasn't really the intent. Sir or madam, intent does not matter, all right? To these people, to people who complain about everything, who clutch pearls over everything, intent doesn't matter. It just matters what they want to be mad about and who they want to make apologize. But that wasn't really the intent. Target was diverse with putting all races of kids in their hide-and-seek costumes, including one with a physical disability. They put them in there, too. What if they had all the kids in a room and the boy?
I think they had a shark in a wheelchair or something like that.
Okay.
Unrealistic.
Strange choice. What if,
honestly, I think they should.
Of all the costumes, they could have made him a car. Or
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know exactly what costume it was, but I think it would be fun for the kid if they picked something that was wheelchair compatible.
Yeah, that would have made sense. They could have made it fit into the costume better, but
Target was Mario Kart, man.
With putting all races in their hide-and-seek costumes, including one with a physical disability. What if they had all the kids in a room and the boy was just the one who picked out that specific costume to wear? The black kids can't be models anymore because everything is racist? Well, I mean, eventually Target and a lot of other companies will learn to just ignore the squeaky wheels in these cases, who I don't think are being serious most of the time. But the rest of that is sort of fan fiction, you have to realize, right? Like you're making up the thing that they were all in a room and that all the models just ran to their favorite costume, and the little black kid was like, I want this one. And they go, okay, well, we know how this is looking, but we can't say no now. All of that is just
they could say
up.
yes, but they could also go, we're also going to have Kyle try on this costume.
Yeah, and we don't know which one's going to make the website. But if Kyle made it, I don't think there would be much of an uproar. You can see the photo over on the See It Now section of the newsjunkie.com.
One of the websites that I'm guessing, posted a photo that had the side-by-side of the Jim Crow picture and the costume.
Yes.
One of the websites, and I want to say BuzzFeed, but don't quote me on it, blurred the Jim Crow photo.
Seriously?
The entire thing. Blurred the entire thing.
How absolutely lame
How
is
are you
that?
supposed to make a comparison to something if you're so worried about posting it that you have to blur it?
That I don't know if they show the author, but I would put $100 on white. That the author of the post who wanted to blur that is like, well, it's too offensive. We can't do this. Wait till you go into like a slavery museum or something. You know, they don't blur stuff there, right? Like, you know, the harsh truth and reality of history can hit you in the face sometimes, and it's important that it does, so you learn some lessons from it.
Okay,
Actual lessons.
BuzzFeed has it unblurred. There was some other outlet that I saw it on. I'd have to look it up.
They blurred it out?
Yeah.
All right, anonymous emails to show, tips@thenewsjunkie.com. Lindsay, Clancy, and the State of Mental Illness Anonymous said, I believe she did it. No doubt there. But I understand the sympathy some feel. Now, just so you know, Anonymous is talking about this woman who killed her kids that's in this court case that's headed to the jury very soon here. He says, I understand the sympathy some feel because mental illness is real and often misunderstood. I've dealt with depression myself on medication for nearly a decade, and I know firsthand it can distort your thinking to the point where you can't fully trust your own mind. Without the right treatment and support system, that distortion can go unchecked. That's why I think insanity due to mental illness deserves more attention as its own category. This also points to a bigger issue. Mental health and women's health aren't taken seriously enough in our culture. You really believe that in 2026? I don't believe that. You don't think mental health is taken seriously enough in 2026? I think mental health has been shoved down everybody's throat for the last 2 decades. I think everybody, well, for the most part, I would say, generally speaking, people very much take mental health and mental illness very seriously. We have more people medicated than at any other point in the history of this country. You really don't think people take mental health seriously in 2026? How much more seriously does it have to be taken? I don't agree with that. None of this excuses what she did. She did it and she'll live with that, but better treatment and support might have prevented it. And I'll challenge you on that too, Anonymous. Better treatment and support how? Like one of the issues was there was crossover in her drugs, and she went to the emergency room, I believe, at some point in time. And then she told them that she wasn't on anything, and they gave her an entirely different round of medication of different types to take, which was never going to be a good idea.
Did she say that she wasn't on anything, or did she say she had stopped taking her medication?
I don't know what they actually said, but the idea was that they prescribed her something different because they didn't know that she currently had a plan that she was on. But she wasn't regularly taking her medication, and she sometimes would miss days, and there would be other issues.
The list of drugs that she took that we read a week or two ago here on the show was so long that
it was a lot.
If you had read a list that size in the report of a drug dealer being busted, you would go, wow, this drug dealer is thorough. He wants to serve everybody. It was a big list.
Yeah, it was stuff that if somebody was on A, they would never be on B, right? There's a lot of stuff like that, like SSRIs. If you're on one type, you would never be on also another brand. They would keep you on one type of SSRI, or there's ones that they wouldn't like mix together. Florida Scratcher says the whole mental health campaign has never been louder. What are they talking about? I don't know. I don't know. I don't agree. It's known but not addressed. What do you mean? I mean, it's certainly a very prominent thing. People put mental illness in front of almost everything. In fact, Gen Z and millennials really kind of, a lot of them made it a big part of their personality in a lot of cases. I think in some cases to the detriment of people kind of growing up and taking personal responsibility. In some rare cases, I think. Overall, I think the attention on mental illness and this stuff is good, but it can lead to other situations too. But this person says, I think better treatment and support might have prevented it. Wiggle, wiggle, pop, pop. Thank you, Anonymous. You also can email over at thenewsjunkie.com. Somebody says they knew that Jed York guy, the billionaire, the one who got caught with the prostitute. Let's see if this is true. This person says they knew the family.
Okay, so back in the day, I used to run with some girls with the last name DeBartolo.
All right.
And so their grandfather, Edward DeBartolo Sr., owned the 49ers. When he died, he handed the reins over to Eddie Jr. Now, they amassed all their wealth through building malls and shopping plazas and never paying the contractors.
Classic.
And sounds familiar. Sounds like how our president made his money. And so the girls were a riot to hang out with. They were partiers. We had a great time. But at the DeBartolo residence one night, I witnessed some of the reasons why he had to hand over the reins to his sister Denise and her husband John, the Yorks, because he got busted for cocaine and domestic abuse.
Allegedly.
So anyways, so I vaguely knew of Jed, and it makes sense that he was looking for a prostitute somewhere down the road in some podunk town down the road from Campfield, Ohio. Yeah. So, and if you also remember, East Palestine is where that train derailed. And all the
that's
toxic
right.
chemicals were spilled out into
Yeah, I do remember that. Yes, the train derailment, and then there was like that huge plume of chemicals over the city, and then we never heard about it again, which happens a lot in these circumstances. Like, don't worry, everything's fine. Everything's just A-okay over here. Real quick, shoot, we don't have time for this, do we? I was going to do the guy going back to college He's leaving his NFL team and going back to college. Never happened before. We'll do that very quickly, perhaps before we do the hot sheet or after that, because we've got the whole second half of the show on the way. Lots to get to on the Share the Show Tuesday. And that's coming up next on the News Junkie.
Coming up tonight on Real Radio at 7, it's a corporate time with Tom and Dan. Brought to you by MyEternalVitality.com and Modern Plumbing Industries.
Hey, you. Welcome in. Let's see what we got for you. Put this here. Let's see what we got for you. YouTubers, hit that like button if you enjoy any of the show. Just a little tidbit or a big tidbit. In Australia, chat, they have now banned any songs created by artificial intelligence from Australia's music charts. How do we feel about that? Good idea or bad idea? Should this be the case in the United States? In Australia, the Australian Recording Industry Association, ARIA, said they are now requiring all releases to be substantially human-made to be eligible for the music charts. If you are playing an AI song on the radio, if it's getting attention, if it's getting downloads, it will be banned if it is artificial intelligence. Sweden has done the same, as has most of Latin America, the Middle East, Africa, and Southeast Asia. They are blocking AI music from the music charts. Good idea or a bad idea? What is considered AI? Is that new Pat McAfee album considered AI? I don't know. I have no idea what the new Pat McAfee album is. I don't know. I know there's a lot of AI out there. In fact, look at this graph. Crazy to consider that since ChatGPT was released, all right, in the time since ChatGPT was released, more than a third of all web pages created after the launch of ChatGPT were written by artificial intelligence. That is only going to go to 50%, 70%, 90%, and then maybe like some boutique websites will still be coded by humans. There is only one direction that is going in. The web, the music, the movies, the animated features, the articles. You read AI articles probably every day and have no idea. A lot of the big local TV news stations, they take their scripts, they take what they're putting in for the hosts to read on the news anchors, they feed it into their software, and it generates a news story so they can have a web-based version of that without somebody typing it up. Written by AI. Craziness. Crazy. I won't lie, there's some badass dark blues songs that are AI, and they're very good. Real radio equals real music? Sometimes. Something dead internet theory? Sure. I mean, we're certainly... We are in the territory of, now I heard the other day, more website traffic is from bots, crawlers, and AI than actual humans. The human traffic is all going to a handful of social media websites and applications, and it's now much more centralized than it used to be. And all of them use AI too. So it's just like ever present now. Is AI creating lo-fi beats? Yes. Sean, thank God I have medical insurance. My eye operation, I only have to pay $6,230.61. Is that reasonable? I don't know. So for your detached retina, $6,230? I don't know. I don't know if that sounds like too much. I've never had that issue. Are 808s banned too? Is an 808 technically artificial intelligence? Because I don't think it is, right? An 808 beat is a sample, correct? I don't think the sample is AI. Coming back to the hot sheet. Damn. Man breaks down in tears after his wife and daughter were killed by lightning in Florida. Crazy. 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 All right, the hot sheet. Then we got this guy going back to high school, then the Lindsay Clancy story. I want you folks on the stream to get ahead of things. If you haven't put in your prediction, go put in your prediction. Go over to thenewsjunkie.com, all right? It's right there on the website. Here we go.
iTunes.com and start your song today. Thanks to you, we're helping teachers bring more opportunities, creativity, and learning into their classrooms every day. iHeartRadio's Thank a Teacher, powered by Donors Choose, making a real difference for teachers and students. And we're not done yet. Keep listening as we get ready to recognize and reward some truly inspiring educators. Celebrate this year's incredible teachers and the difference they're making at iHeartRadio.com/teachers.
This portion of the News Junkie is brought to you by That Mortgage Guy Don.
Don't miss the boat, compare your quote with thatmortgageguyDon.com.
Real Radio is on Instagram at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
Dispensing unsolicited advice on a wide range of pointless topics.
Tuesday. It's never too late, too early, or otherwise to let your friends, your loved ones, your family members, and your coworkers know that you listen to this show. Just send them a link. Send them a link to the podcast, the live stream, or anything else on a Share the Show Tuesday. Right now, let's do the hot sheet.
Check the hot sheet. It's news, but not like real important news.
Best investigative reporting on the planet.
The top stories from the people on your screens and speakers are on the hot sheet with C-Lane.
That's right. The top 5 stories in the nonsense news brought to you by That Mortgage Guy Don. And we start over with our friends at Peacock. The streaming service Peacock is preparing to celebrate the cultural influence of a once popular show with a 3-part documentary that could definitely probably have been just 1 part. The Wendy Williams Show documentary is coming, boys. Brace yourselves.
Yay.
The streamer announced on Monday it has greenlit a 3-part documentary with the working title, Clap If You Care, The Wendy Williams Show. It's
watch this.
Set to premiere in 2027 and focuses on the rise and fall of the syndicated daytime talk show. They say it also is going to shed light on the complicated truths about the cost of fame and answers long lingering questions surrounding Williams' infamous exit from her own show. The executive producer of the documentary is the same woman, Suzanne Bass, that executive produced the Wendy Williams Show for 13 seasons and is set to feature more than 20 staffers from the talk show speaking about their time on the program. So, I mean, if you're getting that many people to participate, maybe 3 episodes will give them some time to tell their story, but it just seems like it could have been shorter. Probably a little bit shorter. 3.
Bit of a R. Kelly situation going on.
That one was pretty long, but that one was also pretty. I don't want to say juicy. Juicy seems like the wrong word. But
it was in ways.
Anyway, we're still doing this thing where we're unearthing old things people say. Thank God, when I was 25 years old, I didn't have some sort of popular TV show where there would be clips of things that I thought were funny when I was 25 years old, because right now Ashton Kutcher is getting just a little bit of guff for some comments on the Duff. Yeah, baby. The early 2000s gave plenty of things, and one of them was, of course, Ashton Kutcher's MTV prank show Punk'd, and a clip that has arose from 2003. Arose. It's circulating again after viewers revisited the actor's introduction for the then 15-year-old Hilary Duff, who he was playing a prank on while she was taking her driver's test. A very 15-year-old thing to do. Let's see what he said.
All right, we go.
Hilary Duff. I huff and I puff and I blow the Duff down.
Hilary Duff is in Lizzie McGuire. She also has an album out. She's going to be in a movie called Cheaper by the Dozen. And she's one of the girls that we're all waiting for to turn 18. Along with the
Okay, wait, hold on. He just said the Olsen
Along
twins.
with the Olsen twins.
Let me pull that back. Hold on.
Along with the Olsen twins.
So
I referenced the.
that was some podcast was watching that. That's where I got the clip from. Cheaper by the Dozen. He was in that also, right?
I don't know.
Was he? I thought he was one of the older kids in Cheaper by the Dozen, and that was part of the whole thing.
Cheaper by the Dozen was. I don't see him in here.
No, maybe I'm thinking of the wrong kid.
No,
I thought he was supposed to be one of the older, mature ones. Which
Steve, what's his name?
Martin.
Steve Martin. Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you, Joe.
You're
welcome.
Anyway, he was introducing Hilary Duff for that hilarious bit on Punk'd. He mentions the Olsen twins, who were 17 at the time in 2003, but Hilary Duff was in fact 15. Just that was the thing people did at the time. They did the countdowns.
It was in an Eminem song too.
Which
Hilary Duff is not quite old enough, so I ain't never seen a butt like that.
What a weird time, man.
It was a different time.
The comments are ranging from, hey, that was something we just did back in 2003 to, how dare he, blah, blah, blah.
Well, you don't do that about stuff in like the 1600s. Nobody's like, look, that was just something we did back in the 1600s.
Well, to be fair, those people aren't alive anymore.
No.
The people, there are still plenty of 2003ers that have to live with some of the things they said, but definitely probably not having it unearthed on some blog somewhere where they're pointing fingers at Ashton Kutcher. Now, speaking of child actors and child actresses, Melissa Gilbert is sounding the alarm after the recent deaths of Hayden Panettiere, DeVay Chase, and Michelle Trachtenberg. The Little House on the Prairie alum shared an emotional essay Saturday saying the losses hit close to home because she sees herself in the women who have passed away, her being a former child actress herself. Mm-hmm. Talked about how the industry teaches young actors to work through sickness, injury, emotional pain. She returned to Little House on the Prairie shortly after her father died when she was just 11. She went to work 3 days after an emergency appendectomy and basically just called on children, child actors to be allowed to be kids, have access to free mental health care, stronger projections from exploitation, and the ability to say no without being branded difficult. Mm-hmm. Who was unavailable for comment, though. Her husband, Timothy Busfield, who, if you don't recognize that name,
I don't,
is still pending his criminal case in New Mexico after being indicted by a grand jury on 4 third-degree felony counts of criminal sexual contact with a child under 13.
Oh,
you remember Busfield was the guy that went missing for a while. We talked about him on the show, Timothy Busfield. Yeah, if you bring him up and look up his mugshot, you'll remember this guy. Those charges were from allegations involving twin child actors on The Cleaning Lady, and Busfield denies the allegations. His wife is the one speaking out, going, "We need to make things better for child actors." Kind of seems like the wrong person to say that.
The weird thing is, when people talk about child actors, there clearly is something there because there's a lot of child actors that have issues, but then sometimes they end up okay, like Macaulay Culkin or Jason
Hilary
Bateman.
Duff.
Or Hilary Duff.
And one of the comments on the Ashton Kutcher thing was like, can we not actually just take a moment to recognize that Hilary Duff is one of the few child actors that's just kind of grown up and become normal, and she still tours sometimes and does some things here and there, but
seems okay.
Yeah, she's doing all right. There's a movie coming out this weekend, friends, that we thought we may never see the light of day. But Coyote versus Acme is getting its theatrical release this weekend, and according to early previews, getting some really good reviews. Like some of the things coming out on Rotten Tomatoes about Coyote versus Acme is pretty good. It's pretty positive.
I wonder how much of that is because they didn't think they were ever going to be able to see it. They thought it was being taken away from us forever.
Possibly. It's a live action animated legal comedy film. So I think it's like
Legal?
sort of Roger Rabbit-esque, where it has live action and also the cartoons in there.
Yeah.
But Coyote versus Acme is based on a 1990 New Yorker article, and it follows Wile E. Coyote as he enlists a struggling billboard attorney, played by Will Forte, to sue the Acme Corporation for repeatedly selling him alleged faulty products. Kind of a fun premise.
I don't hate it.
Now, you'll remember in November of 2023, Warner Brothers Entertainment announced that the film was completed, but they would not release it. They preferred to claim a tax loss of about $30 million, which would make it the third film that they did so with, after Batgirl and Scoob Holiday Haunt.
Nobody's fighting for that one.
Nobody's, come on, Zoink, Scoob, you didn't release the movie. Both of which, by comparison, never finished post-production. It was reported that the company that acquired the rights was called Ketchup Entertainment. Never heard of them before, but they got a good movie on their hands, it seems. And the marketing for the film poked fun at the Warner Brothers situation by releasing the first trailer on Tax Day with signs, Wile E. Coyote holding signs saying Happy Tax Day and check your write-offs, and then also calling it the film Acme does not want you to see.
People kind of want to see that kind of stuff. Sorry to cut you off, but for instance, have you guys seen anything about that animated movie in China, I believe, that was so bad, so cheesy that people started making fun of it because it only made like $30 at the box office, and then now it's gone on to be a huge success. Yeah,
1.5 people see it.
Go ahead. I'll try to bring it up when you're done here.
Last but not least, in the hot sheet today, I didn't know that this was becoming super common. We had a story forever ago on the show, and I tell it a lot because I thought it was genius, about a person who claimed that they went to the Governor's Ball Festival in New York, but before the festival, they went out to Governor's Island and buried a bottle of vodka and then dug it back up once the festival had built all the festival grounds so that they would have their vodka. Like they snuck it in by burying it, right? Well, over in Daresbury, Cheshire, which is across the pond there, more than 80,000 music fans are about to head to Creamfields Festival. They're doing some surveys of the land and they're building everything up. And they found a huge stash of buried drugs at the place where this festival's about to be.
Nice.
And they're saying, if you're looking for your rucksack, using the very British terms, we'd like you to come find it, according to the Cheshire Police. They found about 204 canisters of nitrous oxide and large bags containing ecstasy, MDMA, and ketamine tablets. Every year, one of the guys from the festival says, we counter a number of brazen individuals who think they can outsmart us by concealing drugs from view or burying them at the site months in advance. There is a zero tolerance policy regarding drugs, and they said anyone who has buried a rucksack or hold-all bag at the site and would like it back is asked to get in contact with us. And to that, I thought, why not just not tell everybody you found the drugs?
Yeah.
And show up and wait for people to start digging.
Start digging holes everywhere? Yeah.
I mean, maybe it would be hard to connect them to that, but there would have to be something. There would be fingerprints or something on there, but a bunch of music fans heading out for that festival, and there's going to be a lot less drugs for them to take part in, unfortunately for them. Hey, if you have a quote for a mortgage, if you're looking for that dream home, looking to get in, or maybe get into your first house and you get a quote for a mortgage, the number one mistake people make is to just take that quote and run with it. No, you need to shop it around. You probably shopped around for the house. You would shop around for a car. That mortgage guy, Don, wants to help you shop around for that mortgage, and he thinks he can save you money. He's done pretty good at it. His track record is pretty top-notch. So go to thatmortgageguydon.com. Take a picture of your quote and upload it right on the Compare Your Quote tab. It's so easy. You could do it on your phone. Hit him up today at thatmortgageguydon.com.
Don't miss the boat. Compare your quote with thatmortgageguydon.com.
All right, I'll pay off all these things I teased when we come back in the second half of the show. That's coming up next on the News Junkie.
Live live sketch comedy makes its way to Mount Dora. Join comedians Ross Patchett and Joel Warren on a sketch comedy journey no audience will forget. August 29th at the Mount Dora Music Hall. Get tickets at realradio.fm/comedy.
From the Clausman Law Traffic Center, car crash, call Clausman Law. ClausmanLaw.com.
There's a couple accidents to look out for on I-4 eastbound near World Drive, eastbound near the beach line. Don't worry, they're both off to the shoulder, though. There's a crash.
Hello. How you doing? Halfway through the show on a Tuesday, baby. Halfway through the show, more than halfway through the goal. We're at 13. You could subscribe and put that to 14. Go over to thenewsjunkie.com right now. You could gift subscriptions to lift it up. And as I said, think of all the things you could put in your sweet little canvas tote. This is one of the items you can claim with your rewards. One of the magnets is just 1 point. These are a little bit more, but there's only, I think, 15 of them was what I put up. You can put stuff in here like, imagine I'm walking along and I have a pen. I need somewhere to put my pen. I put my pen in my bag. Now I'm good to go. On the beach, in a storm, surfing. Lots of different ways you could use this. And imagine how many pens you could fit in there. I mean, in a way, I think it would also work as this, right? Sort of like a bib or like a painter's smock. Or even if you wanted to like just go around a store and then all the items that you get, you put them in here and you rock them this way. Or even just sort of like a fashion statement, you know? You've never seen anybody walk into a room like this, right? This is beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. All right. Ow. Oh, no. If that was stuck on my head, that would have been a real bad situation. God bless you. We got 13 on the board. Quite the QVC salesman. You know it. A fantastic festival for drugs. I didn't know so many people did that, like bury it to hide it in the woods thing. Kind of smart, though. How many of you are going to be watching the new Harry Potter TV series, chat? The Harry Potter TV series is coming out before too long. And now they've announced that Nicholas Hoult is out and the character of Gilderoy Lockhart will be played by Kit Harington. Kit Harington. Anybody know what we know him from? Kit Harington is going to be in the new Harry Potter. Come on, studio screen. Mega chat is still rolling, but studio screen is broken. I absolutely could wear it as a top, yes. It's a poop catcher. Kit Harington is going to be in the new Harry Potter. Kit Harington is Jon Snow from Game of Thrones. 5 points to everybody who got it. Studio screen, what the hell? Thank you, J-Turn, for the 4 gifted subs. Appreciate you. Something totally broke. We're up to 17, though. How about that? It was my little fashion show that did it. Last I remember about the Jon Snow guy, Kit Harington, was he was getting drunk and getting into bar fights quite a bit. All right, maybe I'll try to refresh this. Stand by. There it goes. Oh, it got scared. The studio screen got scared that I was going to refresh it. Courtney says you're such a cute model. I mean, clearly it worked. Thanks to J-Turn, we're now on the board. So that brings us up to 17 gifted for today. Thanks to J-Turn with 4, D Red Eye with 2, Tom Tom with 5, Jam Pin with 2, Beware with 3, and Tanya starting it out with 1. We're only 8 away from our goal. We're coming back in 1 minute. I still got this explosive Fox News interview with El Sayed. That's the guy who's running for office in Michigan. I guess it got weird over on Fox News, so we'll have to take a look at that. And then the Lindsay Clancy stuff we'll do in jury duty. All right, let's keep those numbers moving. We're at 17, baby. Here we go.
The risk of loss, market availability varies. Eligibility restrictions apply. $50 every 7 days via click-to-claim issued in non-withdrawable predictions dollars that expire in 1 year. Terms dkng.co/predictions promo. Nationwide based on sportsbook predictions and free-to-play sports context availability. Varies by state.
For all your plumbing needs, go to modernpi.com.
Broadcasting live from the JustCallMo.com studios. Need help after an accident? Just call Mo. Learn more at JustCallMo.com or call 1-800-CALL-MO. This is WTKS-FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando. An iHeart radio station guaranteed human. When good things go bad, bad things make headlines. This is the
I'll play that story, this big Fox News fight. I don't know how nasty this gets, but it's got a lot of people talking today. So we'll see what that clip has for us momentarily here on the show. Big thanks to everybody who has supported the show by gifting or subscribing over at thenewsjunkie.com. Good way to get yourself a magnet. The OG magnets are back, baby. The original design. These haven't been out in a very long time, but you can snag one of these. If you subscribe to a premium subscription unlocking secret shows for as little as $2.99 on the website, you can get your hand on one of these OG magnets. What are the number magnets from Game of Magnets? This is 54,051 I have in my hand.
Oh, my
here.
gosh.
Could be in your hand before too long. So that's one of the many possibilities. There's canvas totes and all kinds of stuff up there. Go check it out on the website. Speaking of that, we're going to get into the Lindsay Clancy updates at some point in time. And I want to let everybody know, as Sealand and I were talking on the website yesterday, I built this predictions feature. We're going to be the only show, we're always ahead of everybody else, always sort of leading the pack. The only show we track whether or not your takes are actually worth anything. All right? Do you have any idea what you're talking about? Do you tend to get it right? Are you somebody we should respect your opinion? How are we going to know? Well, this feature on the website will help us out with that. Now, anybody can do it, and I've already put this up. And the first one is, what will the verdict be in the Lindsay Clancy trial? And you can predict the outcome. Now, the predictions will close when this goes to jury. They will lock in. Right now, you can change it back and forth if you hear new information and you change your mind. So this is how this will work. So if you lock in now as Lindsay Clancy is going to be guilty or not guilty by insanity or a mistrial, and then something changes your mind, you can change that until the predictions are locked. Now, C-Lane said yesterday, we can't just have it so if somebody gets one thing correct that they're 100% on their prediction rating, and then they keep that forever because they want a perfect 100% rating. That's not what we have going on here. We have a complex algorithm at play.
Ooh.
Everybody starts at 50 on the meter. So you start dead center on the meter. And if you get your predictions correctly, you start heading over toward 100, which would be like if you had 50 correct and 0 wrong, you would get to 100% on your prediction rating over on the newsjunkie.com. If you start screwing up and you don't get anything right, your prediction rating is going to go to 0. And when you send in your take on something, we'll be like, this person has a prediction rating of 4. What do we really care? I think they should do this with everything. I think with sports and with everything, when you have people opining about things, let's have them put their money where their mouth is. Now, there's no money at play here, but we're going to have you like sort of go on record with what you think is going to happen. So you can get in on the new predictions feature. It's available for everybody, absolutely everybody. What will the verdict be in the Lindsay Clancy trial? And you can predict guilty, not guilty by insanity, or a mistrial, which are the 3 options. There's already a bunch of people who have put their predictions in. And then there's a whole page for this now. So there's a whole thing where you can see what your rating is, what it means, what your record is, your raw accuracy, other things that you could try to predict. And we are going to take you to task for how good your takes are and how accurate your predictions are. So the first one is about Lindsay Clancy's trial. Go participate in that on the website. Here's the animated thing I was telling you about out of China. A mother helped her son make an animated movie from scratch, this says. I don't know if this is totally true. The budget was only $200. They did everything themselves, and the movie was so bad that people loved it, and now it's making millions of dollars at the box office. The animation is not what you would call good. It's quite basic.
What are you talking about? That's
I think
amazing.
Are those supposed to be cows?
Bulls.
We need to find out what the name of this is. It's very rudimentary.
Why does that animal have a human mouth and nose?
It kind of looks like chimp faces or something, but they made the movie for Josh. See if you can find out what this is called. Look up China animated movie, whatever. You'll find this. And they made the movie for almost nothing, and then people saw it at the box office, and they got embarrassed. I want to hear what
let's hear some of the sound.
Yeah, I want to hear what that sounds like when the. Oh, it's people laughing in the theater. Moo! It's quite bad. So it was released in China. Josh is going to find some more details. I trust him.
New Lie.
All right. That's what it's called. And this says it was made by a mother and her son. I don't know if that's true.
How's it spelled, Josh?
Niulai.
New Lie. Tell me more about this, because now people are going to see it because it's becoming a cult hit, even though it's the worst animation you've ever seen in your life.
Roughly translated to "Here Comes the Cow." New Life follows a timid calf separated from his family, encountering dangers and trials on his way home, discovering the strength to be brave along the way. Also, It has the production quality of something else, whatever. Don't know what that is. At first, the film was a laughingstock and reportedly only sold 300 tickets, but that was an immediate return on investment just with those 300 tickets.
Yeah, and then people laughed at it. They were like, this thing is a piece of junk. And then everybody started packing the theaters in China. I think it's made a couple of million now. I think it made maybe 3 million or something more. It's doing pretty well.
4 million.
4 million?
20,000 times its budget.
The newborn calf lulls the lark freshly arrived from the desert into a dream. Within this dream, the lark bears witness to New Lie, who, inspired by a myriad of forces, their words, not mine, gradually matures into a courageous warrior, one bold enough to shoulder responsibility and face life and death head on. Wow, it sounds a lot deeper than it looks.
What's the movie with Tommy Wiseau?
The Room.
Cool story, Mark. The Room. This is like the Room animated version.
Yeah, this is the Moom.
Yeah, this is the Chinese animated Moom, whatever you want to call it. It's done very well. All right, so there's that. I was telling you about that during the hot sheet. Here's the story about the NFL player who's going back to college. Here is what's happening.
This is insane, and it's all the NCAA's fault. There's a situation developing right down there at LSU that may blow the lid off this entire thing. The issue centers around tight end Daquan Wright, who's apparently set to play for the Tigers this season. Despite, yes, look at your screen, he's in a Philadelphia Eagles uniform.
No way.
Yeah, he already played 4 years in college, and now he's tried out this year with the Eagles and another team. He also played 2 seasons at Virginia Tech. He also played under Lane Kiffin at Ole Miss. He was named a second-team All-SEC player in his senior year.
All right.
But here's the problem. He went unselected in the draft this year, was picked up by both the Eagles, hence the video, and the Cleveland Browns for training camp. Wright's agent told the AP on Monday the tight end had been waived by Cleveland, and if he clears waivers, he's going to join Kiffin's roster at LSU. This all happening because Wright was among a group of players who sued in a Louisiana court, saying a new NCAA ruling granting 5 years of eligibility to most athletes should apply to him and others who were not grandfathered into the rule.
Okay, so he's saying he went out of college after 4 years, got drafted into the NFL by the Eagles. They tossed him off to the Cleveland Browns, and then they cut him. And they said it's not going to work out. I don't know why. Well, who knows why? Could have been because he's just not good. Could have been because he was causing problems. But he was cut from the Browns, and then he said, I would like to go back to college. And now he's turning around for another year of eligibility, and he's going back to college to play football to try to get back through the draft again and get another shot at going back into the NFL, which has never been done before, as far as I can tell. This player, because of this court ruling, is going to be able to do something that has never been done before. He goes back to college after leaving the NFL teams that he was in. If he clears waivers, his agent says he'll join Lane Kiffin at LSU, making him the first known player to return to college after playing in the NFL. So he says basically a super senior. Yeah, I guess so. I guess that's what they got going on. So there's that. Also on Fox, they had this guy, Abdul El Sayed, who this says DSA-backed candidate. I think he's like aligned with the Democratic Socialists, but I don't think he is actually a Democratic Socialist in this election. He's a far-left candidate in Michigan who's running for office. He beat that folksy lady. What was her name?
Haley Stevens.
Yeah, Haley Stevens, who I thought was kind of sweet.
Good old-fashioned stick it to him.
Yeah, stick it to itness or whatever she said. Oh, I thought she was great, but she did not win. And people don't want whatever she's putting out there. Abdul Al Sayed, though, goes on Fox News, and I'm told this got pretty crazy. I happen to like this, just so you know. I like when you have people who go into, what would you call it? Like a challenging interview, like an adversarial interview. Like, I hate how we have Republicans who might stay completely in the Fox News ecosystem, and then Democrats who might stay completely in like the MSNBC ecosystem. And then they never really get any tough questions or anything because they're just staying in their like friendly territory. I think a politician should be able to face difficult questions. And outside of a few places here or there, I would encourage them to go on opposition media, if you want to call it that. I would encourage them to do that. I would think that's good. But here's Abdul Al Sayed, this dude who's running for office, on Fox News with Jesse Waters, and I guess it got weird.
You say you want socialized health care. Abdul, how much is that going to cost?
It's going to cost the average Michigander a whole lot less than they pay right now. But I'm just going to tell you,
no, but what's the price tag of the program?
Who voted to raise prescription drug prices 19 times, right? And so I'm just saying I want to bring your costs down. The price of the program is going to be substantially less for an everyday person who's out here who can't afford their health care and worried about losing their health care with their job.
Jesse went on to press him and said the government spends $7 trillion a year. How are we going to pay for Medicare for all when that's going to cost us $4 trillion a year? More than half of our budget to pay for Medicare for all. We just can't afford it.
All right, so that's one where they said he dodged it. There's another one. Hold on, let me get to the other clip here.
It did seem, obviously the clip didn't seem like it got that heated, but Jesse Waters did seem like he doesn't take this guy seriously. Like, just his overall demeanor, his face, everything was like, you're talking down to this guy.
I think this clip shows where it gets a little more fireworks style.
And sex changes for minors.
Yeah, there you go. All right.
Sex changes.
You can tell in the first 4 words that this one's going to a different.
Sex changes for minors. Do you support that?
Look, I remember having great conversations with my conservative friends about right to try legislation. The idea that the government shouldn't tell you what kind of health care you should have. I just think the government shouldn't tell you what kind of health care you should have. And if you're a minor,
you want to try on kids?
Now, if you disagree with that, if you disagree that healthcare decisions need to be made by a doctor and their parents and a patient, then we think we agree to disagree. But you want to put government inside.
So Abdul, you're a doctor,
hospital
right?
Selectively.
Why is he shouting?
I am.
So you think it's okay?
I think he might just always talk like this.
Yeah, he has a microphone. Does he know
So
that?
Abdul, you're a doctor, right? Okay, all right.
For a parent to slash his kid's ding-a-ling off? You think that's okay?
I mean, do you really want to have this conversation? Are you circumcised?
Yeah, but I mean, that's a
Jesse,
personal question.
Okay.
Doctor.
So you probably should want to move on.
Circumcision's different than castration.
I think it's a problem. It's a problem that you think that you get to decide what happens between a parent, a doctor, and a patient. And I'm just saying that, yes, circumcision is surgery on a kid's ding-a-ling. So if you really want to bring that up.
Why are we saying ding-a-ling? What's happening?
To be fair, Jesse Waters started the ding-a-ling thing.
Yeah, he did.
I would be curious what's his name? Syed?
Abdul
El Sayed.
Al Sayed. I would be curious what Mr. Al Sayed would have said if he had not said ding-a-ling. I mean, since he's a doctor, might have said penis, but I guess.
But they're talking about kids, so
they've lowered the bar here.
Yeah. So he says, are you circumcised? Comparing that to a child getting their genitals cut off. Not sure if that's an apples to apples comparison, but.
It's not, but in the way that he's arguing about it, it is, because it's a decision that the parent made and not the government or something like that. Like I see where he's going with this.
So you're saying he's claiming this is a medical decision that the state didn't have any involvement in about the genitals of the child? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think maybe the big pushback on that would be that it doesn't affect the operation of the child's genitals like a sex change surgery would, which I never understand. I mean, like that would have to be for somebody who has some real significant what's it called? Dysphoria, like a gender dysphoria on such a significant level that you want to have completely useless genitals. But I don't even know how much that happens for minors. I know the really concerning thing that I've seen that they're not talking about here is there was so many for a while younger girls who were getting their breasts removed that it was actually getting up to a number where I was like, that's a little bit concerning there.
Removed for sex change purposes?
Yes. Yeah. To because they were like transgender, they want to be like transgender boys, and they would get their breasts removed and sort of done into like a so they look like a man, right? So like their chest look like a man without their shirt on. That I think is probably the most common. I think it's relatively uncommon to have anything below the belt done, especially for a kid. I think that's relatively.
I would argue that most doctors wouldn't do it.
Yeah, they probably won't. I don't know how that goes. I think in different states now they have laws about this, but they're talking about each other's ding-a-ling, so that's a bit of a twist on Fox.
I just think you guys are really selective about how you want to talk about these things.
Abdul, Michigan's not going for that. That is sick stuff. Boys playing in girls' sports.
I'm not advocating anything. I'm just saying.
What about that?
So the question, so again, like Jesse, you have not asked me one time about the issues that people actually care about in Michigan.
He's not wrong about that. When you ask people at the polls, what do you care about with your politicians? It ain't none of this identitarian stuff that everybody's been talking about for 20 years. It's not a bunch of race stuff. It's not a bunch of trans stuff. It's every single time they ask people, they go, the economy. Because the economy is the issue. I feel like Bill Clinton over here or something. Basically, everything's expensive. Things are pricey. I saw that commercial. Somebody was passing around this commercial. It
depends what you mean by ding-a-ling.
Let me see. Hold on. Did I save this? I hope I saved this. Yeah, here it is. This commercial rocked my world a little bit. Josh, I don't know if we can find out what this costs now, but you want to talk about how people care about the economy. Everything's gotten really expensive. This Jason Alexander commercial for KFC has started to go viral again
because this was from 2002. All right, this is 24 years ago.
These two gentlemen appear to be identical. The man on the left is having a chicken strip meal from a casual dining restaurant.
So it's him on both sides.
Is eating the new hot and fresh crispy strips meal from KFC.
Ooh.
The man on the left paid $7, while the guy who went to KFC paid only $2.99. That's $2.99 for 3 100% all-white meat crispy strips, plus 2 home-style sides and a freshly baked biscuit.
Not
$7 or $2.99.
$2.99. All right, $2.99 for 3 chicken strips, 2 sides in a biscuit,
You
like
want
a whole meal.
Guess the price now.
Oh, I don't, but I do.
For 3 tenders. The
3
combo
tenders
meal.
and the combo meal. The 3 tender combo meal was $2.99. All right, these were the days where you could go through Taco Bell and get a burrito for 40 cents and stuff. Those days are gone. That's what people are upset about.
3 tenders, 2 sides, a biscuit, and I'm guessing a Pepsi.
Hopefully, if it's a combo. I would say now, but don't go too high. $12.99.
$8.99.
You win. It's $8.69.
$8.69. So we went from $2.99 to $8.69. That's a lot more expensive. And people have to ask themselves, did the amount of money that I was making in that period of time go up to that extent? That's a lot of money now. So that really is the thing. Like I don't want men and women's sports. I don't want kids having sex changes. I think that's insane. But I think most people who are just inundated with this crap must be a little frustrated with the fact that everybody talks about this nonsense and not the fact that stuff is really expensive. That meat is expensive at the store. Ground beef has been more expensive. That shopping requires you to strategically shop because things are way more expensive at the grocery store than they used to be. This is what Americans care about. How much does gas cost? And I guarantee you, a lot of them, when you sit at the gas pump, you're like, remember, didn't Trump try to do this like last week or something? Where he's like, people will think it's worth it when you're at the gas pump. And you're like,
when you
no,
pay
they
a little
will not.
extra, it's because we're keeping you safe.
No, they will not. Like maybe 5%, 10% of the population will be like, it's okay. We're fighting Iran, so it's okay if my gas is $4 a gallon. No way, man. People are tired of paying so much for everything. Everything is really expensive. KFC is out of control. KFC is cheaper than most other places. You don't try to go into a Five Guys without getting a loan first. You're going to need a whole bunch of money to go.
To 3.5? Like
no, not these days, dude. Can we even see what's a Five Guys cheapest meal cost?
Oh, God.
What is it, $12 or something now? It's
that
crazy.
Feels low.
It might be more than that. I've seen people post their receipts from Five Guys. And Five Guys is maybe not the best barometer for stuff being cheap or expensive. But fast food is expensive. Grocery store food is expensive. There's a lot of stuff that has gotten a lot more expensive.
$13 to $14 if you want the combo with the little burger, a little fry, and a drink.
That's crazy. $14 for a kid's meal. Yeah. So these are the actual things that I find my neighbors, my friends, actual normal human being, normal people who don't get obsessed with politics and stuff, that they get pissed off about. The conversation always goes to weird stuff. Like we're not doing communism, okay? We're not doing socialism. We're not doing, like, we can make things better. We can improve on the system that we have. We could do those things. We don't need to talk about all this stupid stuff. How about we just get our deficit down, which is ballooning? What's the number on that? Somebody look up from this week. There was an update that our deficit was so insane. Our deficit was so insane. We are so bankrupt as a country right now that there was an idea floated in the New York Times that we just declare, like Michael Scott in The Office, that we don't have a deficit anymore and set it back to zero. Literally in the New York Times, they said this is an old strategy from the old times.
$40 trillion.
$40 trillion deficit, right? Okay. And unless you think I'm crazy or just making stuff up. Here, the New York Times. Hold on, give me a second. I got a bit of a paywall to hop over.
Declaring zero deficit would be a bold choice.
How hilarious!
When Shane Gillis hosted SNL, they did like the bit that was a pre-recorded bit that was like the gathering of the Trumps or something. Mm-hmm. It was like all the different guys who had played Donald Trump on SNL, and I think Gillis's thing was like, Trump would just tell you what's true.
So like at the basketball court, and they're like, "You're not very good at basketball." He's like, "Yes, I am. I am the best at basketball." And they're like, "He's the best at basketball. He's the best basketball player."
Look, here's the New York Times. 40 trillion in debt. The ancient Sumerians wouldn't have cared. And there's an article in the New York Times that says U.S. federal debt has hit $40 trillion. The debt owed by U.S. states, corporations, and consumers is $77 trillion, blah, blah, blah. And this ancient societies had another method to deal with debt. It was called a margi, a blanket declaration of public debt cancellation. All public debts written off, disappeared. It sounds laughable, I know, but really that's just because the idea has been buried so deeply in history, you've probably never heard of it. Literally just coming out and be like, I declare bankruptcy. That's where we're at on this. So that's what I think people struggle with.
Sounds better than bankruptcy. Bankruptcy, you still have a lot of problems. This sounds like I declare out of debt.
I declare money. No debt. Oh, God, we are way behind. What are we doing here? A quick break. This is what they call a Mongo segment, ladies and gentlemen. Just a quick break.
Hey, I declare we're not late for anything.
I declare no commercials.
I don't do that.
Who needs them? Who needs them anymore? Quick break. When we come back, we'll get geared up for jury duty. We got an AI freak out clip I got to play for you, and a whole bunch more is coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real radio. It is.
The Monsters in the Morning.
Russ, you think you could eat one of these all by yourself?
Oh, yeah. I can do the whole 19 in quick, too.
Both hands?
No, one hand.
The Monsters in the Morning.
Real radio 104.1.
There's a couple accidents to look out for on I-4 westbound at Lee Road. The right lane's blocked. An accident on I-4 eastbound at World Drive. Crash off to the shoulder on I-4 eastbound near the beach line there. Move over and slow down if you see police activity. Emergency crews on the roadways. And if you see traffic troubles, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.com.
Hi, I'm Kyle at Blindster.com. Tired of overpriced blinds? Blindster makes custom blinds simple.
All right, everybody. That was a big, fat, mega pint of a segment. A mega pint of a segment just for you. Let's see us turn that 17 into an 18. You right now, you're supporting this show. And you're bypassing the big corporate overlords in the suits. And you can send to them a blazing middle finger or two by simply subscribing right now over at thenewsjunkie.com. And we'll see that 17 turn into an 18. Aaliyah died 25 years ago. True. A giant lesson for us all. When women overpack, people die. That is the lesson we learned from Aaliyah, who died far too young. The other thing is, I doubt she would know that in 2026, some 25 years after the tragic airplane death of Aaliyah because she brought too much luggage on a small plane going into the Bahamas, I doubt she would believe that her songs are still regularly played in heavy rotation on the radio. Sean, I'm broke. I spent all my human monies on Steam sales. Unbelievable. Is Pressure Washer 7 that important to you? Aaliyah is still on my playlist too. I'm telling you, when we get in the car and put on the radio, we usually have like the old school hip hop station on that Courtney likes. And they play, of course, the same like 10 songs over and over. But it's like Usher and Aaliyah. Heavy rotation. Sport Johnson doing it, baby. He did it. We went from a 17 to an 18. Now let's go from an 18 to a 19. The goal's only 25. We've got plenty of time. We're back in a couple of minutes. Aaliyah was one of a kind. R. Kelly thought so. He sure did. Pool Guy Simulator is amazing. The phenomenon of people playing simulation games of the jobs they actually do, it's a strange one. CyberLeak tried to hack Steam over the weekend. Is that true? I flew out of that Bahamas airport the next day after her crash. I'm pretty sure that was Marsh Harbor, right? Because when you fly over that area in Marsh Harbor, Aaliyah's plane, I believe, is still there. Because it's this sort of swampy-esque area by the airport, Marsh Harbor, probably where it gets its name. And where her plane crashed was such a difficult spot. I don't believe they got the plane out of there. I think you can still fly over it. Too much luggage killed her. She was staying at Atlanta's? Yes, you could still see plane parts. Yeah, I mean, I remember when we flew over that they did mention it, which I hated because we were on this rickety little plane. We're flying around in this rickety little plane, and then I'm scared as hell. Bam, bam, bam. They go, by the way, if you look down, you'll see where Aaliyah crashed and died. Her carcass is still maybe down there somewhere, or pieces of it. Like, holy shit, man. I don't know if I needed to know that. Okay, we're coming back, baby. Here we go. Tendon tear, nose repair. Stand by. Here we go.
Ask your doctor. Call 1-833-589-PAIN or visit Genavix.com.
Everyone wants answers. I'm just really confused about what happened that day.
A new podcast series, Fault Line Haditha, tells the story of a shocking crime and a cover-up at the highest levels of the United States Marine Corps.
If you've got 5 players and you offer immunity to 4, you better be right about the 5th. Because if you're not, then you've just given immunity to your killer.
Listen to Fault Line Haditha on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Follow Fault Line Haditha and start listening on the free iHeart Radio app today.
Do you have AC needs? Turn to the experts at Carrier. Go to millsair.com.
Today is Mo Betta with Josh Fowler, courtesy of Just Call Mo, Orlando's injury attorneys. Filling you in on the shocking details. Just try not to pass out. This is the new.
Couple emails coming in real quick. Tips at thenewsjunkie.com. You can email the show anytime. Thank you for being part of the show. We appreciate you. Send your email over to tips at thenewsjunkie.com. Like Amy, who says, did you see this Callaway controversy? Did you see that? She said, did you see the Callaway commercial that people are up in arms over? Rightfully so. Amy, I did see it. I thought it was bad in terms of just like not that funny and not that good of a commercial. But I didn't think it was like so pearl clutchy like a lot of people did. I just thought the bigger problem was that it was just a bad commercial.
There were people that chimed in that said, I guess there's a superstition in golf that if anybody else touches your clubs, your gear, that it's like a bad superstition. Like it's going to give you the yips, anything like that. So that's why he was probably wanting to tackle the woman before she could touch his club.
Okay. All right. And then the man tackling the woman in the commercial is what people said, oh my God, you're glorifying like abuse of a woman. And the company Good apologized yesterday. And then I saw today Callaway, the golf company Callaway, has apologized.
Right, when you do a collab, both sides of the collab have to take equal responsibility.
Yeah, and then
Even though I bet Callaway had, I don't know if they would have signed off on this ad, though. They might have just said, like, all right, we got this partnership with a YouTube channel. You guys, sell some clubs for us.
But as you know, now there's no perfect apology because people just rip you apart for the apology. Callaway says, to our customers, employees, stakeholders, and golfers everywhere. Last week, Good Golf and Callaway posted a video to promote a co-branded driver. While the video was produced by Good, it was approved by Callaway prior to posting. The approval should have never happened. Mistakes were made. We're taking the matter very seriously. Very seriously. As we deal with the consequences of our mistake and complete our investigations. There's investigations underway. Detectives they got magnifying glasses out, and they're looking into this.
Thank God.
I want to make it clear that we sincerely apologize for the video. The content was inappropriate and does not reflect our values. To be clear, we are unequivocally against discrimination, domestic violence, or threatening behavior of any kind. They say they're against domestic violence. That seems like one of the most useless things to say in the history of things said. Is there a contingency of people who are pro-domestic violence that we need to tackle? Besides the domestic abusers themselves?
I was going to say, there's a contingency, Sean.
The domestic abusers themselves? And response, 99% of us don't care. Stop apologizing to the 1% of woke, fragile idiots. I might sell my Callaway after this complete overreaction to a video that was obviously a joke. And then somebody links the commercial in question. I'm glad you posted the apology. Otherwise, I never would have seen the aforementioned video. On and on it goes. So you never win over. The people who were offended, they're like, not good enough. This is not an AI apology. The AI people, of course, they're always weighing in. And then you have, the people who think it's too much of a woke thing to apologize also complaining. You get it from every angle.
The last comment that we could see on screen before you shut that down was like, the shove wasn't the worst part. It was the theme. It was the ad itself or something like that. Yeah. Basically what you were saying.
Yeah, the shove wasn't the worst part. Yes, it was bad. The theme was the worst part. Cringe level 100. I agree with that quite a bit. It just wasn't very funny. We have kind of high expectations here in the United States of America. We have had some legitimately funny ad campaigns in this country.
Mm-hmm.
We have had some pretty good ad campaigns, and I say good for us for doing that. But I don't think this one was one of them. It wasn't very funny at all, and I don't know. Maybe it was funny to you, but not for me. That seemed like not a winner. Real quickly before we take a break, because C-Lane made the last segment so unbelievably long, just
That's
massive.
Right.
More people coming out of the manholes in New York City. Here we go. Let's go to the streets. This is at 4:19 in the morning. This guy just popping out. He's like, oh, me? Oh, yeah, I'm just popping out of the manhole. Look at this guy.
It's a mole man.
Dude, a little mole man popping out with his headlamp on. More people popping out of the sewers of New York City. There's another one. This guy comes up, and I think he shut the manhole behind him. That looked like something for a movie, man.
That was kind of impressive.
The last guy who pops up, he pops and then splits his legs and then drags the manhole cover. Here he is again. Ready? Whoop. Up, out, and he's got bib overalls on with no shirt underneath and a headlamp. And there's still an investigation going on as to why they keep finding these people underground. I'm almost convinced it's just people like looking for crap that's been dropped down into the sewers or something, but it's a little weird. So it's a little bit strange. I think there's turtles down there, Bootsy says. Yeah, maybe. It's all very weird, but they've caught them again, this time in New York in a different area. So the speculation continues. Okay, we're going to take a quick break. Again, you blame C-Lane for this. I know he made a bit of a mistake here, but we'll try to forgive him during this break. And when we come back, we'll
I just want you to know I unequivocally apologize, and I think I'm very against being super late for break.
Too woke. Yes, they're no good, man. All right, when we come back, it's my fault. Totally my fault. When we come back, Lindsay Clancy will be in jury duty. You have time to get your predictions in on this and see if you got a good brain for actually knowing what's going on in the world and what's going to happen next. And we have a bunch of other stories to work in, a speech that's going viral that I got to play for you, and a lot of other content to work in before our Power Hour, which is coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real Radio is on Facebook at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-373.
Hey! Hey, everybody. Welcome behind the scenes of the show. Oh, sorry. Sorry about that. Sea Lane sure sucks. Am I right, folks? Oh. Get your predictions in over at thenewsjunkie.com. 32 people locked in so far. What a relaxing experience. Wheel whiskey. What's our theory, chat? What do we think those people are doing in the sewers? What are they up to? I did it. I voted. Thank you. Good luck on your prediction, BTW. Good luck. What are they up to? Melbell says it's very Mario-esque. True. The news said it's across the street from Madison Square Garden. They think they may be trying to find a way to sneak into events. Interesting theory. The thing is, though, it hasn't all been happening across the street from Madison Square Garden. This has been seen at various locations throughout New York City, throughout Manhattan. So that would make sense if it was there, but it almost seems like people are just looking for something, some money, some hidden stuff. Stream exclusive, a brand new app. A brand new app is exploding in popularity. Gen Z wants a different kind of messaging app in 2026. One of the apps that's popular is Carrier Pigeon. Carrier Pigeon allows you to communicate with all of your friends on an app, and the app flies around like a carrier pigeon. So it doesn't just zoom the message to you. You see that your friend has sent a carrier pigeon to you, and you can track the carrier pigeon on its way to your location. The birds have a chance of dying or getting lost. The developer says it took 9 hours to send his first message from New York to Chicago. The other app that's like this is called Roost, and that offers 1,000 animals that will bring the messages, like a snail that sends you up at 1 mile per hour to the destination. Roost has 650,000 downloads. Carrier Pigeon says they have 75,000 users. It's not totally novel. There's another app called Slowly, which has been slow messaging since 2017. Don't know why anybody would want that. It's like text messages, just very slow. I don't get it. But apparently the Gen Zers are into it. Did Josh get married yet? Yeah, Josh has been married for a while. Why, you want to marry him? You looking to marry him? Why are you asking? I don't understand why anybody would want their messages to arrive slower. Like, what's that about? All right. Tips at thenewsjunkie.com. Jonathan says, you were talking about medications. There's absolutely a database of medications that a patient was described by a doctor. I know for sure this happens with controlled substances, but it happens with most medicines too. Florida was late to implement this, but they did it by 15 years ago. All right, we're coming back.
123,000 wireless customers, Pure Talk was the only wireless company to receive 5 stars in every category: coverage, support, value, and data. What else do you need to know? Switch to Pure Talk today and get any plan, including their top shelf unlimited data plan for just $15 a month for your first 3 months. No contract, no commitment. Dial pound 250, say micro, and let Pure Talk's U.S. customer service team help you make the switch.
Hi, I'm Kyle at Blindster.com. Tired of overpriced blinds? Blindster makes custom blinds simple and affordable. You measure at home, install yourself, and save big. No retail store markups, just custom blinds guaranteed to fit. Blindster.com.
The most viral newsroom on the planet is still humming along. This is...
Some Lindsay Clancy updates there. It's the only story that's given right now. As dark as that story is, at least it's a weird one. There's a lot of interesting twists and turns in there, and you can get your prediction in over on thenewsjunkie.com. Go to the website, put your prediction in. It's free for you to do if you have an account set up. And we're going to track you and you predicting what's going to happen in these news stories. We'll be the first to actually do this for a show to keep the audience in check. What will the verdict be in the Lindsay Clancy trial? Will it be guilty, not guilty by reason of insanity, or a mistrial? Now, you can predict right now one of those, and you can still change it until the jury starts deliberating. Once the jury starts deliberating, this will lock, and then we'll find our winners and losers when the actual verdict runs through. So if you want to give that a shot, go do that over at thenewsjunkie.com right now as we do this. Let's do jury duty.
Court is now in session, so put your phone down and pay attention before we call the bailiff over to whip your ass. You're now on jury duty with the News Junkie.
Jury duty brought to you by the one, the only Mo DeWitt of the DeWitt Law Firm. Injured on the go? Just call Mo. 800-CALL-MO, 800-CALL-MO, or go to justcallmo.com. After an accident, reach out to the attorney that's going to put you on the path of that big check that you deserve. That is justcallmo.com or 800-CALL-MO. Oh, the Lindsay Clancy story is the big story that's generating a lot of headlines in the court world. This is the mother accused of murder, but was it a guilty by reason of insanity or not guilty by reason of insanity situation? This is supposed to be a meltdown on British TV where people were fighting about this case. Let's listen into the clip. Here we go.
They should be commended because they did.
I've had it with you.
Oh my God! They should be commended. They didn't kill their children. She's a murderer. These women are cheering. Sometimes these are man-hating women that are standing outside. This is what it's about. They think the husband did it. They're crazy. They've lost their mind.
Do you know why they're
waving for a murderer?
Do you know why the woman is in a wheelchair? Did you even notice that she's
couldn't care less. She's a murderer.
Because she jumped out the window after this happened.
So she should have. I'd have pushed her. They say that Lindsay was in psychosis. I think these women are suffering from psychosis. They've been watching too many true crime Netflix dramas. You know, this was a incredibly privileged woman, incredibly wealthy. She had a nanny. And
the lady on this panel hates this dude. Her eyes are like going. She's reacting to everything that he says.
Still complaining that she needed help. She could not have got more help from the system that she already had received. This is a murderer who strangled her children one by one. One of the boys ran away and
she's breathing now. Like, breathing tactics to calm herself down. Why die on this hill? Yeah, this is such a weird hill to die on. To be like, I am really, really so attached to this story that I'm going to put it all out there. And I'm going to be like, this woman is the person who I want to identify with. I don't get that so much. I think you could live in a world of nuance here and say, hey, this lady killed her children. We have to make a decision on whether or not she was mentally with it when she did this. and that will decide whether or not she spends the rest of her life behind bars, and that's what the jury's going to handle right now. But this lady she's not having it.
Faced him down and killed him.
Lori Watkins.
What you just said was absolutely disgusting.
Thank
and
you.
You should be ashamed of yourself. And you can hear that he's not.
Thank
Okay?
you.
This is true.
You clearly don't care, so pipe down.
I don't care. And by the way, men watching this, if you
He
have a woman
doesn't
sat
care.
next to you on the sofa who is defending this murderer, you got to think deeply
No
about
one's
this. I've seen
defending.
weddings.
So
of
we
people
need to have
talking
some
about this.
empathy with-
Talk to your women and
There's a
find out
difference.
what are they thinking. They're defending this woman. It's
I don't think
insane.
anybody's defending what she did, but you can have empathy for what she went through.
He's pointing at the lady. There are people, to be fair, who are defending this in a way by saying that the husband was the one who did it. They come up with
pushed
that. I would have pushed her.
The
he said.
thank you was just perfectly timed.
They don't like each other, these two. Lori Watkins and whoever they are. Thomas Corbett Dillon on a British show talking about this case. Now, let's go into the actual courtroom. We have just a little bit of time. This is an important piece of information for your predictions. This is Dr. Heilbrunn, one of the final people to testify in the Lindsay Clancy case. And he says that he thinks that she fabricated her story, that she was sort of hallucinating when this went down.
That I found the account of hallucinations to be, as she described it, it would be very, very unusual to experience it that way. Never having, not before, not since, constantly for 18 minutes. However, if this was a thought, an unwelcome, intrusive thought, but still a thought, that's basically, this is your last chance, you have to kill the kids so you can kill yourself, then that would be consistent with thoughts that she'd been experiencing for some time. She'd been having thoughts about harming herself, that she was, it was going to be very difficult for her to do this in a way that made sense.
Okay, so he was saying there, he's kind of blabbed at the end, but he believes that she's fabricating the idea that it was hallucinated. He says maybe she just sort of heard this voice again, and she didn't hallucinate before this or after this, so that's why he's suggesting that he doesn't agree with that testimony. The other piece of information I wanted to work in here was the attorney for Lindsay Clancy, I guess, got into it with a reporter. Stay by the dump button, Josh. I don't know if he curses here. But Lindsay Clancy's attorney got into it with a reporter. All right, here they are outside the courtroom.
You. Let me tell you something. Yes. I don't want to talk to you again. Why? Because you are a biased weasel.
Not at all.
Okay?
That's
you
ridiculous,
are.
Kevin.
Ridiculous?
Why? Yes.
Go read what you say about my case. Go read about that guy with the bald head yesterday.
That doctor
you said
yesterday,
that the jury was eating it up.
They were. They were. You said outside he was a nice guy.
Stay away from me.
Kevin, you said outside that he was a
Wrong
good guy.
Wrong guy.
Why?
I was talking about somebody else.
He was a good witness.
Stay away from me.
Kirk was a good witness.
Okay, it's not going well out there.
Wrong guy.
He is getting into it with the reporter. I use that in air quotes because I don't know. Everybody has their cell phones out. I don't know if these people are legitimate reporters or what's actually going on here. But that particular guy and the attorney for Lindsay Clancy don't seem to get along. And all right, last thing, I guess News Nation was talking about the 911 call. Most people didn't get to hear this.
I want to quickly ask you about the Patrick Clancy 911 call, because when Patrick Clancy arrived at the house, found his wife outside, had jumped from the window, and then found the kids inside, there was this awful 911 call that has not been played publicly. But you have heard
Why?
the call. You are one of the few people who has heard the call. What did it sound like?
Yeah, I mean, as you say, that call won't be released. The live stream was shut off at that moment, so only people who were inside the courtroom heard that. And it was one of the worst, the worst thing I've ever heard. It was the screams coming out of Patrick were just unearthly and guttural and unlike anything I've ever heard, really.
All right. I mean, we don't need to hear all of these things, but it is kind of interesting that they didn't release that 911 call of the husband. They have not released that. They only played it in the court. That's a journalist recounting her hearing this particular 911 call. All right, we're going to take your calls on that, your dispatches, all the rest of that as we get into the power hour of the show.
Breaking news coming out.
What's happening? What's happening?
I hate to say it, buddy.
What?
Dolly Parton dead at 80.
No.
Shut up. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? Dolly Parton dead at 80? Are you sure we're not getting fake news?
Variety's reporting it in an actual message from the Dolly Parton Twitter account. We don't have time to play this.
All right, I'll play the message from the Dolly Parton Twitter account. I guess Dolly Parton has passed away. We'll get to the message from the family. That's coming up next on the News Junkie.
Taste Central Florida, Orlando's premier culinary event this Friday.
I just heard Courtney screaming in the next room. Dolly Parton dead. Breaking news. Nice. Dolly Parton dead at 80 years old. Hang on. Let me get you some information on this. Yes, this is real. Indeed. Now, last I saw from Dolly Parton, somebody was at Dolly World, and she was not present at the launch of a new ride there. She did a video announcement. What? Dolly Parton dead. Of course you like Dolly Parton. Everybody likes Dolly Parton. She's dead though. She was looking a little bit rough in those last couple of things.
I don't know. She seemed like she was pushing herself pretty hard, but
she was born.
That also kept her going.
She was born in 1946. All right, Variety says Dolly Parton, queen of country music, dies at 80 years old. The announcement came from her official Instagram. I've got the audio of that in a moment. Her health issues have become headlines in the fall of 2025. She canceled a 6-show December residency at Las Vegas' Caesars Palace. And, oh, that sucks, man. Did you like Dolly Parton?
Yes.
Are you going to cry? She's going to cry. She's going to cry. Dolly Parton dead at 80 years old. Many of her 25 number one country singles were self-written. After her predecessor, Loretta Lynn, she was one of the first major female stars of the genre to write much of her own material. Her best-known song, I Will Always Love You. The tune reached the top of country charts in 2 different versions. I've got this audio coming up in just a minute or two. This clip I'll play for you on the stream about Dolly Parton dying and her family sending this in. Boy, they had a whole thing ready at Variety here. Let me see if there's anything about the death itself. This is just a huge rundown of Dolly Parton's history. Dolly Parton was preceded in her death by her husband, Carl Dean, who died in March of 2025 at 82 years old. Unfortunately, she has passed. Let me see. That's a crazy one. TMZ has Dolly Parton dead at 80. Dolly Parton dead at 80. Her head of security announced her death on Instagram. One of the most beloved figures in entertainment. She was 80 years old. And the reaction to this is much like I just heard. When C-Lane announced, basically before anybody else had mentioned it, that Dolly Parton had died, we have a delay in this studio because we're broadcasting live on the air on these radio stations. And from the time that C-Lane said it, I could hear Courtney reacting out there, just a no in the house. And I think there's a lot of that going on for reactions right now, you might guess. She missed the opening of her new ride last week due to health issues. Yeah, she did a video appearance at it. She did. Wikipedia has not even updated it yet? That's quite fast. Still can't believe she's gone, but Brian Wilson's alive. Bad news for you. I read it just before C-Lane said it, but Google still? Liar. Let's see. Hold on. Let me go to Dolly Parton's Wikipedia. Here's the video announcement. Well, ain't no question what song we're ending on today, right? Son of a bitch. Wikipedia, Dolly Parton. The Google version has her alive still. Oh, her page is getting hammered right now. Oh, now they got it in there. They must have been like pushing that update right now. Because now it says Dolores Dolly Rebecca Parton Jr. January 19th, 1946 to August 25th, 2026. Sold more than 100 million records globally. Think about that for a second. 100 million records. Wow. All right, I've got this announcement from her family. We're going to get into that in just a moment. Stand by. All right, here we go.
System may lower your response. Common side effects include injection site pain and swelling, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138. Visit Prevnar20.com or talk to your doctor or pharmacist.
I'm on Prevnar20.com now, scheduling my appointment.
Good idea. And happy 50th.
Do you have AC needs? Turn to the experts at Carrier. Go to millsair.com.
Coming to you live from the JustCallMo.com studios. Accidents happen, but Mo's here to help. Injured on the go? Just call Mo. Visit JustCallMo.com or call 1-800-CALL-MO. This is WTKS-FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando, an iHeart radio station. Guaranteed human. The only show brave enough to admit we Google half this stuff.
In just a moment. Thanks for hanging out with us. Thanks for being there. Learn more about the show over at thenewsjunkie.com. And some of you heard C-Lane break in there just before the break with the news before almost anybody, I think, that Dolly Parton has died at 80 years old, which is a brutal one for people. I don't know about you guys, but I can't think of too many people more well-liked than Dolly Parton.
Yeah.
No, it's hard.
Perhaps, oh God, I mean, I don't know. There's very few people.
Mr. Rogers?
Mr. Rogers, yeah. I mean, there's like, he was on that, or she was on that level of just an absolutely beloved person in the world of music and entertainment and a businesswoman. I mean, look, I know everybody's pushing out right now. Everybody had them ready to go. They all had the obituaries ready to go. I know that because when C-Lane said it was up on Variety, it's about a 40-paragraph article on Variety about Dolly Parton being dead already, right?
Yeah, and when I was looking at that, like, I can't go back to where I could see it. It says here that the tweet that's the video message that's on her Twitter account 12 minutes ago, Variety 11 minutes ago.
Okay.
Damn.
Like almost as if they had an alert set up.
They got like, yeah, they went fast on this one. Dolly Parton, and I'm going to play that video message about her death here. Dolly Parton is somebody who, to me, wasn't just an amazing musician who sold, just so you know, over 100 million albums. All right, that is an amazing feat that very few people in the history of recorded music have been able to obtain. She not only was an incredibly successful musician, she was also a television star, a movie star. She was a businesswoman. She has something that very few people can say they have. She has a theme park, okay, Dolly World, which is impressive in its own right. To be able to have a theme park that operates like that. She was a very savvy, smart, and lovable businesswoman, and a great, I would say, a great role model for a lot of people out there. So here's what they said. This was posted on Dolly Parton's social media account, saying that she was dead. Here we are.
Hey everyone, my name is Brian Seaver, son of Cassie Parton, and I'm representing the Parton and Owens family today, announcing the passing of my Aunt Dolly Rebecca Parton Dean, sister, sis, Aunt Granny to one generation, and Gigi to the next. This video announcement is something Dolly asked of me years ago, before I fully absorbed it as a future reality. As her head of security for more than 2 decades, a role my father Larry held before me, I have imagined the heaviness of this moment, but haven't truly felt it until now. It is an honor that is mixed with absolute pride and great sadness. But sadness lies with us, not with Dolly. Dolly has lived in the light and is in the arms of Jesus, surely met by Carl, her parents, and countless others who have watched her and longed for her to meet them in the heavens. I first went on the road with Dolly as a kid, getting a taste of the road life in the early 1980s. Nice. Dolly opened doors not just for me, but for her entire family to reach the potential we didn't even know was possible. Dolly also opened doors for generations of singers, songwriters, musicians, and dreamers from every walk of life.
Quick question. When did she die? If they had to go film this video, right? Like,
Do you
they had
think
to.
they filmed it before she died?
It could be. She asked him, apparently. This is her nephew, I guess?
Yeah.
It's her nephew who was her head of security for years. And his father was her head of security before that. And Dolly Parton's nephew was asked, hey, will you, when I die, deliver the message to the world? That's what he's doing right now. And Josh is not wrong to say, hey, well, we know that Vanity Fair must have pre-wrote an entire thing about the death of Dolly Parton with her obituary and her music history and everything that she brought to the world. People in chat talking about her library, just everything. She did so many amazing things in the span of her life. But there's no way they just recorded this unless she's been dead for a little while and they're just now telling people. They do have studios and stuff. Maybe they could crank something like this out pretty quickly. I'd just be interested in when she actually died. I don't think they're going to mention it, though.
And across every continent. By her example, we believe that anything was possible. She never saw a door she couldn't open, and the doors she opened made and changed history. My family and I have shared a lifetime of beautiful memories with Dolly, but so have you. She has always been on your television, your record player, your CD, and on your phone playlist, becoming an extended part of your family, whether you liked it or not. Our family and the team she has entrusted with her legacy will work diligently to ensure her spirit will live with us forever. Dolly was a farmer, just like her daddy. He farmed the soil, she farmed songs and happiness. Dolly called me and said she wants to rest in a beautiful bed of plush cotton because after a life wearing heavy rhinestones, she finally deserves to be comfortable and have some rest. Rest in peace, Aunt Dolly, Aunt Granny, Gigi. May God bless Dolly Parton, and may God bless you all. She will always love you.
Damn. And it says, I will always love you at the end. Dolly, like her signature on it with Dolly Parton's face. Dolly Parton dead at, is it 80? 80 years old? 80 years old. Just a few years after the death of her husband, who was her lifelong partner.
Not even a few years. He died last year.
Was it? Oh, I thought it was 2 years ago now. So shoot.
Carl Dean.
A year, yeah. Carl Dean. And Carl, Dolly Parton's husband, was interesting because he didn't want to be famous. He wasn't in the limelight with her at all. She was the star. You know what I mean? I don't even know if anybody knows what that guy looks like. But they were lifelong, companions and lovers, and he passed. And then after that, she just kept up the workload, so much so that Courtney, who I just heard, by the way, this interesting thing, we have a delay on this show, right? Because we're on radio stations, and in case something we say is something that might get us in legal trouble or
like
FCC trouble.
Did.
Yeah. Then you hit the dump button, and we have a big delay. So when we went to commercial during the last break, Sealand had popped in and said, "Hey, bad news, Dolly Parton dead at 80 years old." And as I hung up my headphones to do Skull Mike, I heard it hitting the stream, and I just heard it go, "No!" And I'm like, "Oh, wow." Yeah, I mean, this is like, that's the guttural reaction that a lot of people are going to have. And she wasn't very political, right? So, I mean,
not that I know of.
I'm just trying to think. I can't think of many people that disliked her. So I think you're just going to have sort of an outpouring of good vibes and memories of Dolly Parton.
It's so weird. I couldn't imagine what it would be like to still be in Nashville right now.
Oh, my God. That's true. Man. You just got out of Nashville.
I mean, they have whole buildings for Dolly Parton.
Oh, God. The Country Music Hall of Fame has like a whole thing just for Dolly Parton, because she was that big of a figure for all of those years in country music, and then spanning genres, because I Will Always Love You was her song that then Whitney Houston ended up covering to be the immense hit that it was for her from the Bodyguard soundtrack. Just unbelievable. What's the biggest song? The biggest song that Dolly Parton had out there?
I think you would argue that one, just because it was a two-time U.S. country chart topper and the international hit for Whitney Houston. Then Jolene, 9 to 5.
Jolene is a big one. Yeah, 9 to 5. Islands in the Stream. That's her, right?
Banger.
Yeah. Lot of great songs over the years, and great charity work. And you can go on forever, as many people will in the coming hours and days. And I imagine, like obviously there had to be people today. This is even more strange than being in Nashville. There had to be people today that were at Dollywood. So where is that? Pigeon Forge? Is that right? Pigeon Forge, Tennessee? Yep. So not far from Nashville, she has a theme park with rides, the whole thing. There's like a small little Disney World there. Not even that small. It's like a real robust theme park that she also had as a successful business. And she was unveiling a new ride at that Dolly World a couple of weeks ago, I believe. And she wasn't there. She was supposed to be there, but she recorded a video. And in the video, she sounded a little bit off, like a tiny bit off, I noticed. She seems like she's a little bit under the weather or something in that final video of her at this Dollywood event launching this next ride. But generally speaking, she looked like she was in decent health and everything seemed to be okay. I know recently, within the last 5 years or so, she's struggled a lot and she had to cancel some of her tours. And Dolly Parton was going to have a residency in Vegas. And they weren't able to do that because the health issues hit her. But now she has passed away at 80 years old, shocking, I'm sure, a lot of people today. We'll hear from you. Your dispatches are rolling in over on thenewsjunkie.com. Want to see what you have to say. A lot of people weighing in on this particular issue. Insecure Walrus, I think, is in the Nashville area, right? I believe so. Let's see what he says.
I'll tell you, I've been in news a long time and broadcasting years ago. I've worked in the entertainment industry, and for the most part, news and things like that doesn't affect me too much when it comes to people dying and things like that. But I've worked with Dolly. I've met her in person. She was, every single time, just the nicest human you could be when it comes to dealing with people. She treated everybody like they were the star of the show, even if they were the people that swept up the place. And it kind of, when C-Lane said that she had passed away, it got to me. I got a little emotional about it. So she's going to be sorely missed by everyone in the world, but especially in Tennessee, where she has given so much to her community, where she came from, and the whole state in general. Kids can get library books once a month and all this kind of stuff. She's just done amazing things. So she's going to be missed by everybody.
Thank you. Great dispatch. Appreciate that. Insecure Walrus. Rusty Nail wants to talk about
When I was younger, I did love the movie.
Rusty, you got to listen back, cowboy. All right, I hate to do this, but I'm gonna have to give you a frowny face. We have a celebrity death on our hands. You can overcome the frowny face, which highlights your dispatches in a way that makes me wonder if I should hit play. But you're gonna have to do that by putting some really great dispatches in. Here's Jammin' Jay with a dispatch on a different topic altogether.
One of the major claims that I've seen from ladies on TikTok and Facebook is that Patrick seems to have very little emotion in regards to the entire case.
Patrick
Granted
Clancy.
that it's a few years past since then, but they talk about how he didn't cry during his testimony or how quickly he moved on with a new wife and stuff. I'm really surprised that they didn't want to play that 911 call because that shows how traumatizing it was for him in that moment, and it might explain why he grieved the way that he did. You know, some people just like to bottle their emotions or they try to avoid thinking of it because it was so scarring for them.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think anything is going to convince these crazies on social media that Patrick Clancy actually did it. He was the voice in her head. Lindsay Clancy is innocent. I don't think anything under the sun, legit, I don't think anything would convince these people of otherwise. If you played the 911 call and he was crying, they'd say he was acting. These are mentally ill people. You know, I think that these are people who are sick, a lot of them. And there's an overlap there, to me. There always has been mental illness and conspiracy theories. There's sort of an overlap that you see there. Peisenberg says, Dolly Parton before Mitch McConnell? What's going on in the world?
Well, as far as they've admitted.
Yeah, true. And I don't know if it'll be too far behind here, but yeah, that is the true and unfortunate news here toward the end of the show. Carolina Girly. Carolina Girly is chiming in with something about women. All right.
Hey guys, it's Sonia from North Carolina.
Hi.
I think when they were talking about the healthcare of women, I've heard it from several doctors of mine. They say that if certain things were in the male directive, that things would have been solved quicker, or there would be a medication for it or help for it quicker. I don't know if this other dispatcher was saying that it was just mental health. I have noticed, though, that other healthcare professionals are actually saying that, and they are also men. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. Anyway, I love y'all. Have a great day. Bye.
Thank you. You have a great voice. I do not understand what you said, though. She's saying she heard from several doctors. They say if certain things were in the male directive, that things would have been solved quicker. So, like, if he was a man, then the healthcare that he got would be better. I wouldn't suggest that mental health awareness in the male world is better than in the female world. I would suggest that in the male experience of life, which I understand, it's still, even though there's a little bit more talk about this, it's still not something that guys share with each other. It's not something that is nearly as common among guys as it is with women. So I don't know. I mean, that doesn't match up to my experience at the very least. But I do appreciate the dispatch, Carolina Girly. Thank you for that. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll get into more of your responses to the death of Dolly Parton at 80 years old. We'll see if you have anything to say about that. I think that sorts out what the final song is going to be today.
Sure.
At least who the artist is going to be for sure. I got this NFL speech that people are talking about, an AI freakout. We'll try to do those in a grab bag segment here in the next segment of the show. That's coming up next on the News Junkie.
No script, no filter.
Hey, everybody. You got to really wonder a couple of things. One, how long has Dolly Parton been dead for? We do not know. I mean, I think they put her date of death as today, but that doesn't mean that she died today. Two, what Dolly Parton song are we going to end on? I Will Have Always Love You is not really like a banger to end the show on. Islands in the Stream. I vote for Islands in the Stream, but you guys can change my mind on that. Islands is a good one. It is. Great song. Burr, 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 burr. 9 to 5 is a jam. Lots of 9 to 5ers. Lots of 9 to 5ers. 9 to 5, Dolly Parton. I see you, I hear you, and I will give you your 9 to 5, my 9 to 5ers. 5 o'clock has arrived for Miss Dolly Parton. Let's see. I think that'll do it. I think that'll do it for us. Lots of breaking news coming through. Queen of Country dead at 80. Music icon Dolly Parton dead at 80. Let me see here. Alicia says, hey, Sean, Sealand, and Josh. Speaking of the Clancy trial, did you see the clip of the reporter in the courtroom? Let me see. I did not see this. No. Lindsay Clancy, a reporter, sparks backlash for grinning at the I did see that. Yes. I didn't know she was a reporter. That's weird. Somebody emails and says, it's Let's Be Offended Tuesday, first Callaway and now Target. Yeah, we talked about the Target costume earlier. I think that was kind of overhyped, honestly. Last words, I won't get to play Grand Theft Auto 6. I don't think Dolly Parton was a big GTA fan. She could have been, but I don't believe that's the case. Couple of minutes and we're back live. Mitch is holding out for GTA 6. That Callaway ad was trash. It was trash. I wasn't offended other than just to be offended by the fact that it sucked as a commercial. It wasn't very clever or interesting. Coat of Many Colors? I've not even heard of that one. Play Redneck Woman, her best song? I don't even know that one. Interesting phenomenon happening here. Mega chat on the web faster than on the studio screen. And sometimes the studio screen does not update as well. Something is funky happening there. Mega chat over here is solid. Like Tanya's quote, okay, or those kind of went in similarly. But sometimes studio screen will like freeze up and then I'll see 4, 5, 6, 7 comments go by in Mega chat before it finally updates. So Coat of Manual Colors is good. What a bummer, truly. Yeah. Truly. All right, a couple more stories before we get out of here. We got 90 seconds left. All right, we're going to ditch the WNBA thing. I'm sort of burned out on that one. Oh, Gary, Indiana, they still have problems with the power getting back on. I guess the power company is saying one of their issues is when they went out there to turn the power back on, utility crews had people firing gunshots at them. There were people firing gunshots at the utility crews in Gary, Indiana, who were trying to turn the power back on. Sun State John, thank you for the 13. Thank you for that. All right, we are coming back right now, folks. Stand by.
And millions have already gotten it.
Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you have a severe allergy to its ingredients. A weakened immune system may lower your response. Common side effects include injection site pain and swelling, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138. Visit Prevnar20.com or talk to your doctor or pharmacist.
I'm on Prevnar20.com now, scheduling my appointment.
Good idea. And happy 50th.
The countdown to the new NFL season is on.
And now, all 32 in-market local teams can be heard on the free iHeartRadio app.
He's in! That's a jet touchdown! Just open the app and search your favorite team.
Plus, Fox Sports Radio breaks it all down.
As we get closer to week 1. It's crazy, and it's fun.
Join the conversation and stay locked in. Live, local games with you all season long.
Download the iHeartRadio app.
Search NFL and press play.
For all your plumbing needs, go to modernpi.com.
Today is Mo Better with Josh Fowler, courtesy of Just Call Mo, Orlando's injury attorneys. Because the newspapers don't come with cliff notes or potentially offensive accents.
Bit of a pall over the moment on account of the news just breaking about 30 minutes ago that Dolly Parton is dead. Dolly Parton dead at 80 years old. The questions outstanding are, what was it? What was going on? She wasn't really fully public with what her health struggles were, and she doesn't have to be, but we may get an answer to that question. We don't really deserve one, but we may. And then the other question would be, they had a video filmed and ready to go, and Variety seemed to be working in tandem with the family, and they had a massive article ready. I mean, a huge.
I think everybody had that ready. I mean, like I said, Variety got there to Twitter a minute after the video, so they might have just plugged in a couple, details to an already complete article. One of the chyrons I saw walking through the hall said she died peacefully at her home in Tennessee. I hadn't read that somewhere else. Others just said died peacefully, which I think he said in the video. So, other than that, there wasn't a whole lot to learn.
Yeah, a lot of people are chiming in their favorite Dolly Parton songs, and there's so many. Like I told you, 100 million albums sold. That's an incredibly impressive feat for anybody.
In a career that spanned over half a century, CNN says Parton captured the American experience, penning more than 3,000 songs.
Damn. That's prolific.
Yeah.
That is a lot. Now, there's probably some stinkers in there. There's probably a couple that are not as good. But
I'm the opposite. If I wrote 3,000 songs, you'd be like, at least one or two of them have to be kind of good, right? Like you got to strike gold once in a while. Am I wrong?
I've heard people use that strategy before. Real quick, there is
quantity over quality.
This is a real story. I can't believe this is real, but I wanted to work this in today. There is a guy in Australia who's facing 15 years in prison.
Or no.
He was a biker, or I love it. How they call them in Australia is bikies. They call bikers, like biker gang guys, they call them bikies over in Australia.
Wait, the gang ones they call bikies?
Yeah,
that sounds so not gang-like.
I know. I think we should start calling them bikies here when they start revving their motorcycles.
Oh, you call them the F word.
That's what you did. South Park said so, right? So this guy is a bikie or a biker gang dude. Timothy Ronald Simpson is his name, but he's an ex-convict, and he had a lot of problems with the law. And they had a deal with him which said, hey, you cannot, under any circumstances, be using a gun. You can't go to a shooting range. You can't do it. You are to be away from all weapons. You're a dangerous person. Part of your probation is going to be that you need to be as far away as possible from firearms. And
what does that sound like, Josh? Tell him in Australian.
Oh, God.
The whole thing? The whole statement?
Listen here, Bikey. Keep your hands off the gun, yeah?
So they told him that in that exact accent. And now he has violated his probation.
Oh, can I guess?
Stand by.
Is it the most token thing I can think of?
Possibly. He may be facing 15 years in prison. What is your thought?
For having a boomerang?
No.
Put the boomerang down, Bikey.
Hands off the boomerang.
That would be really great if it was a boomerang. It's not. It's not. I mean, I would be so mad if I was this guy. Because what he's in trouble for and why he may go to prison for 15 years is even weirder. Any guesses, Josh? Or I don't know, maybe you looked up the story.
Oh, God. I got nothing.
My second guess is like a slingshot or something stupid.
No, even worse.
A shrimp on the Barbie skewer.
He was at the fair and used one of the fake rifles.
Oh, no. Come on.
No.
Were they just following this guy around waiting for an excuse to put him back in prison? Because that seems a bit much.
It's crazy, right? He went to the Alban Blossom Festival in Wollonga, Australia with his daughter. He had the chance to win a prize by stepping up to a shooting gallery where he had the chance to shoot plastic ducks with an air rifle. Unfortunately, footage of him shooting the plastic ducks with the air rifle came to the attention of authorities, and they arrested him for violating the terms of his probation due to his handling of a firearm and being, quote, unlawfully present at a shooting gallery.
They're not wrong.
That's not a real shooting gallery, though. Nor is it a real gun.
I don't know. I think legally, I would think they'd had, at least in America, a better argument for holding the airsoft rifle. The shooting gallery thing is a weird charge.
Because those are they BB guns?
Yeah,
what do you have at the fair? It's a BB gun?
Yeah, it's an air rifle.
Normally the one that I've seen, and you guys may have a different experience, your mileage may vary. I've been to the fair many times, and you usually had like a little sheet of paper with a star on it, and you had to shoot out the star, and it was like an air rifle with BBs. But that's not a gun.
No, you could barely do any damage with that. Plus,
can you bring it to a school?
No,
probably not.
They're like tethered to the
I
booth.
rest my case, Your Honor.
Hold on. Is a BB gun technically considered a firearm?
Yes.
It is? Oh, wow. God, that's such a brutal move, man. 15 years behind bars because you went to the fair and used the air rifle to try to shoot some
what
rubber
are you
ducks.
in for, Bikey?
My God. Actually, he's theoretically facing more. 15 years in prison for picking up the gun, as well as 10 years for being present at the shooting gallery. So he could serve up to 25 years for this. We'll see what happens. A judge at his initial hearing admonished him for handling the rifle, but said it's significantly different from what they wanted to try to prevent. So we'll see what happens with this guy's case. I would be fuming. And another story real quick that we need to work in here before we wrap things up today. An Arizona grandfather, a victim of the heat in the United States of America. Brace yourself, stream peeps.
Gosh.
He fell on the ground in Arizona, and his leg was on the concrete or the ground, whatever. And as he was on I guess he was on the desert ground, maybe. So as he was on the desert ground, his leg was on that, and he got so burned, they're going to have to remove his leg. All right, nobody eat lunch. I'm going to zoom in. I don't want to do it, but I got to do it. All right, he's literally cooked. He is. This man is going to lose his leg because he fell down in the desert and his leg was on the desert sand, and this is what it did to him. People losing their minds right now over on the chat side of things, but that's real life. He's hurting really bad. They said 72-year-old Grant Seiler laid helpless in 122-degree desert heat for over an hour after tripping during a walk in Bullhead City. He tripped, he fell, and then he was on the ground, and the ground was too hot. He was saved by a passing stranger who found him unconscious. He's now facing a grueling physical recovery, and he will lose his leg as a result of this. He has he's in the ICU in Las Vegas. It almost killed him. Almost killed him. He was eventually discovered by a passing woman who poured water on him, helped him regain consciousness, and tracked down his home address. They called 911. He was shaking uncontrollably with a core body temperature of 105 degrees.
Good God.
Which is not great. It can, I think, can cause brain damage and stuff.
Yeah.
So there is a GoFundMe for this guy. How crazy is it? Now, he's doing okay, considering the goal is 10,000. How crazy
It started
is it?
at 6.
Did it?
Yeah.
Okay. Because it's so wild to me that we'll have stories like this, and it'll be Carmelo Anthony's parents or Lindsay Clancy, the one who killed her kids. It'll be her parents because they couldn't put it in her name, and somebody will raise $1 million. And then this guy who nearly died because he was burning to death, in the desert heat, he gets $9,397. So I hope he gets more than that. It's coming in a little bit heavier now that he's getting some attention. If you want to know about the GoFundMe, it's Help Grant and Vicky Through This Tough Time. That's the title over there. Help Grant and Vicky. It is. It should be like, this man roasted his leg on the desert floor, and now he's going to lose it.
Yeah. He laid in the desert floor for an hour just roasting. You can read the whole name of the GoFundMe.
No,
it's true.
Too much.
Can I show you one more thing, though?
Is it his leg again?
Yeah. What about this? Oh, yeah. Oh, God.
I don't mean to laugh at him.
What
That
if
sucks.
you just ran your fingernails?
Stop.
Stop. What
That's
if you,
rude.
What if you had like a
I don't know. You might not
brush?
even have nerve endings anymore.
I'll put this on See It Now, but it's only for the brave, folks. Quick break. When we come back, final dispatches, stories that didn't make the cut. And today I learned to wrap everything up for a Tuesday. I'll put it on See It Now, and I'll link to the GoFundMe. So at least I feel better about that part. That's coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real Radio is the Jim Colbert Show. Saying things that management will have to apologize for later. The Jim Colbert Show, weekdays at 3 on Real Radio 104.1.
Stand by, everybody. I'll be with you in 1 second to wrap everything up here. A quick live read from Mills Air. Man will lose his leg after falling down in the desert. Desert with one S, right? I don't want to put dessert and embarrass the hell out of myself. All right, that's up on See It Now.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.com.
Hi, I'm Kyle at Blindster.com. Tired of overpriced blinds? Blindster makes custom blinds simple and affordable. You measure at home, install yourself, and save big. No retail store markups, just custom blinds guaranteed to fit. Blindster.com.
That is a brutal photo. It's up on See It Now. Again, only for the brave folks. And if you are ever stuck in the desert and 120-degree sand is burning against your skin, you'll probably want to make sure you can get home as fast as you can. And if your air conditioning isn't working properly, that's enough to get you real angry. That's enough to make you real mad. I don't want that to happen to you. So I want you to call Mills Air. Don't be like this guy. Call Mills Air, get your AC working as cool as possible. He probably would have kept his leg. He had a AC working the right way. Mills Air is going to help you out to get you back in working order. For 34 years, they've helped people like you staying cool, even when the weather gets nice and warm. They're a Carrier factory authorized dealer, and they can get you massive, I mean it, massive with a capital M, rebates toward a brand new Carrier unit. And that new Carrier unit's a hell of a lot cheaper than having your leg removed. I know that for sure. You could always turn to the experts at Carrier, and you could always turn to family-owned and operated Mills Air. So give them a call. Schedule your appointment now. That's 407-277-1159. 407-277-1159, or find them online at millsair.com.
Orlando's premier comedy club and restaurant is the Funny Bone, located at Point Orlando. This week, the Funny Bone welcomes Renee Vaca on August 26th and 27th, and Lucas Zelnick on the 28th and 29th.
All right, everybody, rate the show. Rate the show out of 10. Please do not factor in how bad you feel about Dolly Parton dying, okay? Oh, thank you. You see that guy's leg? Yeah. What'd you think about it?
It looks like makeup to me.
It looked like makeup to you? It wasn't. It's a real...
Well, I know, but I can just look at it and think it's like...
That's what's going to happen to you if you stay out there in the sun too long. You are like a freaking pretzel. You're like brown.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are.
No.
Like dating a Mexican.
You can't say that.
Y'all can say anything I want. Like dating a Mexican. See, I said it again. You got to be careful. That sun is brutal. Could do us all in. That's not even the only story like that today. Stranded in Death Valley amid 116-degree heat, French tourist dies. Guy fell down in Death Valley. Should have seen it coming, but fell down in Death Valley and died. 10 out of 10. The show goes in the Hall of Fame. It goes right over here. You know it. No notes over there. 1 out of 10 over in there into the Hall of Shame. $8 per thrust out of 10. 20 out of 10, but sad because Dolly was an American treasure. 10 out of 10. 10 circumcised dingalings out of 10. Nice. 9.2 underground hoodlums out of 10. 9 out of 10 coal miners' daughters. 9 bikies out of 10. 10 dollies out of 10. 10 out of 10 human drumsticks. Gross. Disgusting. 10 out of 10 slash dingalings. Let's see Courtney. She's gone out there. 10 legends dying out of 10. Ain't that the truth? Ain't it the truth? 0.0. Or maybe those are eyeballs reacting to something. 10 Jolies out of 10. 9 Mexican wives out of 10. 7.5, the show is sturdy today out of 10. It was something. It was something. I want to tell you thank you, and I'm going to do that again to all of our gifters and subscribers for the day. We did indeed hit our goal. I want to see better support, bigger support tomorrow on the show. We got some surprises in store for your Wednesday, Thursday, Friday shows. Do not miss out. I appreciate you. If you don't mind, hit that like button over on YouTube. Your like helps out the stream. It would be greatly appreciated. And if you're new around here, hit subscribe so you can follow along with the show. I love you. I'll see you tomorrow. Stay gold.
Do this right now. Save Mo's phone number, 1-800-CALL-MO. After an accident, it can be difficult to know what to do next. Having the right information can make all the difference. Did you save that phone number? It's 1-800-CALL-MO or visit justcallmo.com. Injured on the go? Just call Mo.
Looking for a gift that'll melt their heart? Head to smiletunes.com and create a custom song made just for your special someone. Every lyric tells your story. Every note comes from the heart. Visit smiletunes.com and start your song today.
This is what football sounds like.
Straight up the gut for 5 yards and the score.
And iHeartRadio is the official partner of the NFL Podcast Network.
Welcome to NFL Daily. We're doing the work to get you up to date.
Just download the free iHeartRadio app and search NFL.
Hi, I'm Kyle at Blindster.com. Tired of overpriced blinds? Blindster makes custom blinds simple and affordable. You measure at home, install yourself, and save big. No retail store markups, just custom blinds guaranteed to fit. Blindster.com.
The biggest stories of the day in all their glory and insanity. You're listening to
Make the cut. And today we're going to wrap everything up for a Share the Show Tuesday. Thanks for all the support. We'll get into everybody who helped us out along the way today in just a moment. In fact, let me load that up and get the latest in right now. I always appreciate you if you support the show directly by subscribing to a premium subscription like all these folks did, or gifting them. Sun State John with 13 today. Woo. Sport Johnston with 1. J Turn 09 with 4. D Red Eye with 2. Tom Tom with 5. Jan Pin with 2. Beware with 3. And Tanya with 1. Thank you so much. We love you. We appreciate you. You are beautiful. You are amazing. And I hope somebody's right behind you in line. Stories that didn't make the cut. A judge has denied Carmelo Anthony's bid for a new trial. The judge says no. Back to prison. 35-year sentence held up for now.
Was that the new judge?
Yeah, that was a new judge. Retired Kaufman County District Judge Michael Chitty denied Anthony's new motion for a trial. And let's do maybe one dispatch.
These are the final dispatches, but Sean will probably only play one.
I only have so much time. I only do. Let me see. Refresh and get the latest and greatest. This is
Josh. Are you sure you want to say? You look like you had something to say after.
No.
Okay.
It's
what happened? What I missed?
Too edgy.
Well, go for it. Say it. Was something about Dolly Parton?
I literally cannot say it.
No.
I dare you to say something
No,
about Dolly Parton.
I think it was about Michael Chitty.
Oh yeah. Here's Twisted Rabbit.
Yo, News Junkie, what's up? It's your boy Rabbit. I actually live in Knoxville. I moved up here about 12 years ago. There's been a lot of these deaths lately that have been, pretty hard to handle. But, man, Dolly
Parton.
This one hit. This one hit our whole family. Like, we're sitting here in shock right now. Like, the Insecure Walrus called earlier and was talking about how good of a person she was. I mean, that's putting it lightly. Like, she's done so much for the Knoxville area, for, Pigeon Forge and Gatlinburg. Like, she was just an amazing human being.
True.
That she lit up every room she was in. We were blessed to meet her multiple times. We've been to Dollywood multiple times with our family. She was just a really good person, and the type of person that we need probably 10 of them, in this world right now. And yeah, this sucks, man. This is a hard one. Wiggle, wiggle, pop.
Real quick, I don't know if you saw Sean's. I don't remember who said it in the chat, so sorry for not giving credit where credit's due. But somebody pointed out that the next tropical system in the Atlantic to receive a name will be Hurricane Dolly.
No way.
Weird coincidence.
That would be so bizarre. All right, let's do Today I Learned.
The following information may make you feel smarter, but will not actually increase your IQ. So don't get cocky.
Hurricane Dolly.
Today I Learned.
That would be a weird one if that happens. Go ahead.
Even weirder if it hit Tennessee and just undid all the good stuff that she did. All the good stuff that she did.
They'd still
the
love
good
her.
Dolly giveth and the Hurricane Dolly taketh away.
Today I learned this lady right here. You know it.
Dolly Parton.
Reba McEntire.
That's right. That's her. Dolly Parton gave each family who lost their primary residence in the 2016 Tennessee fires $1,000 a month for 5 months. When she arrived to help dole out the final payments, she bought the nearly 900 families an unexpected bonus payment, too. Another $5,000 each for a total of $10,000. She helps. That's what she did. And God bless her for it. Dolly Parton dead at 80. Thank you so much for hanging out with us today. Great job, everybody. We'll be back tomorrow to do it all over again. Missed any of the show? Get the podcast at the News